Do this.
Let's do this. Hey, everybody. I think we've got it all worked out now. Welcome. I'm Mr. Rau, Ryan, Mr. Rau's Gaming, Rants, and Reviews, and we are doing another playthrough this evening, and we are trying out this fancy thing called live streaming. I'm just gonna say hi to a couple people here that have shown up here. Tabletop Express is waving hello. We've got Riley, who's actually also in our show here. He's saying heyo. Seth, welcome, Seth Gonzalez. Hi, everybody, and in quotation marks, Dr. Nick. Wouldn't say any other way. And then Brandon is also saying hi, Dr. Nick. And then, of course, David's also in the chat here saying hello there. Of course, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, we're going to be streaming a playthrough on BGA like we've been like to do once a month nowadays. And David picked our game that we're doing this week, and that is the Lost Ruins of Arnak. I think he suggested something else too, but I just liked Lost Ruins of Arnak better or something like that.
Yeah, I think the other one was like Res Arcana, but that's really fast. I think we get 2 sentences in and be over just about, so.
And Riley's saying he's committed to only communicating via YouTube chat the whole stream.
Liar.
Liars.
Yeah, okay. I can't keep my mouth shut.
I was just about to say that'd be an upgrade this stream, right?
Oh. Wow.
Here we go.
Shots
the
fired.
zingers are coming.
Damn.
Fast and furious style. So I'll let my guests introduce themselves once more if you're not used to the channel and you haven't checked out our other playthroughs. We did Castles of Burgundy a couple months ago. Riley took down that game. I think we were just talking about this off stream. And last month we played Blood Rage, and I narrowly inched out a victory over Tim on that one. And then so now tonight it's either going to be Tim or David. Who we got? Tim, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Tim from the Board Game Hot Takes podcast.
And David.
Hey, I'm David Rodriguez from the All Games New and Old YouTube channel. We do reviews, unboxings, all kinds of crazy stuff.
And of course, I'm going to introduce Riley because Seth here is saying that, Riley, you have to sing, buddy, tonight.
Let's do it. Kick it off.
I've got my guitar right there. Should I do the whole theme? Everyone sing it? I'm sure that there will be no delays.
There'll be no delays. It'll come across perfect. David already says that you've got the auto-tune thing going perfectly. So
perfect.
Yeah, everyone. I think it's my connection. I'm not sure. Everyone's sounding very auto-tuned to me. It's very strange. So I'm gonna be like trying to be like, what are you people saying? So
why are you saying this? And
I have that problem with Discord sometimes.
And Brandon says, anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Perfect, yes.
You couldn't have picked a worse song, Brandon.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember how that one goes.
Oh,
it's very forgettable. Don't worry.
I'm with you, Tim.
Is that by Oasis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay. You're my
the most overrated band of all time.
Is that Wonder? Okay,
Yes.
I think I got it. I think I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
So we chose Lost Ruins of Arnak. What's everybody's experience level with Lost Ruins of Arnak? I forgot to mention your experience with this. Let's start with Riley. Riley, what's your experience with Lost Ruins of Arnak?
I've played several times in person and on BGA. Usually when I'm playing with people in person, I win. When I've played online, I think most of the time I've played with Tim, and he has not lost in a game against me, I think. So we'll see if I can take him down this time. I've also played a couple, like the solo once and then the campaign once, and that was really, really fun. I love this game. I think it would be in my top 10.
I think we should consider this one a real time, like a live play, right? Like an in-person play, because we're basically interacting real time. So I think what Riley's saying is he has the edge up here.
Yes, exactly.
He might.
All right. Okay.
It's those Tim purposefully takes really long turns to make you forget your strategy when you're playing async.
Okay. Well, let's jump over it. Tim, what's your experience with Lost Ruins of Arnak?
Well, I just looked it up on Board Game Geek, and I have 43 logged plays of Lost Ruins of Arnak. Probably about 10 of them are solo. The rest of them probably a mix of real, in person and then on Board Game Arena. Probably pretty even. My wife likes this game, so we've been playing a decent amount of it lately. Been playing a lot with the Expedition Leaders expansion, which is great, which we're not playing with tonight. But yeah, it's a really fun game. It's a good one.
Right on.
Would you like normally would you play without the expedition or the leaders expansion, or would you stick with leaders even if you were introducing it to somebody new?
No, absolutely not. No, that actually, this is an expansion where a rare expansion which drastically changes the experience to me. It makes it quite a bit heavier and more of a brain burn. Like Lost Ruins has enough actions going on for the first couple plays that it's not a overly complicated game, but you got enough to think about. Even after playing 40 plays, when I play with the Lost Ruins, the Expedition Leaders expansion, I find that it is like there are so many decisions to make in a turn because your cards usually have multiple decisions to make on them. So your starting cards, and then your leader has some extra ability that you got to pay attention to. So I find it to be a lot heavier, and so I would never teach this game with the expansion. But for experienced players, I think it's fantastic. It was starting after about 20 plays, it was starting to get a little bit repetitive, and so it definitely changed it up. And now I like going back to just the base game sometimes because it feels like it's a fresh, lighter, a little bit lighter game.
Cool.
Right on.
I just bought it, but I haven't played with it yet. So
Right on. Before we get to David here, we got Chris from the Tabletop Express here coming in to say hi, and thanks for dropping by, Chris. I know it's quite late out there on the East Coast, so appreciate you dropping by. David, what's your experience with the Lost Ruins of Arnak?
So I think I've only played, excuse me, about 3 or 4 times, all on BGA. I have a copy of the game, and I have the expansion, and I haven't, excuse me, I've never gotten to the table. So, I've not won yet, which means that my time is coming. This could be it. This could be the time that my victory comes to me. That's how it works. So, I'm ready now.
you got this.
You got this. We got this. You got this.
You guys should all log off right now.
Looks like Adam is joining us here. He says Tim loves to make bad puns involving Lost Ruins of Arnak. Tim Deanna Jones and the Temple of Doof puns.
I don't know what Adam makes very bad puns. This is my co-host Adam, by the way. So yeah, he likes to harass me all the time.
Yeah, and then,
but it's true. You make so many great, terrible puns too.
Okay, well, which is it?
You make
Riley?
some
Is it great
groaners.
puns or is it terrible puns? Which one is it?
Is there such thing as a good pun?
They're all good.
They're all good.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
I believe.
Absolutely.
all good. Chris says he has a copy, but I've never played it. I've only played other people's copies. Top 50 game for him. Yeah, it's a great, fantastic game. For me, I've played it probably a good couple dozen times, and I do own the expansion, yet to get the expansion played into the table for myself. I was mentioning off stream that of those couple dozen plays, I have not won this game yet. My wife has dominated all the victories, so I don't know. Maybe I'm fighting for not last place tonight. That's my goal. That's my goal, but I don't know exactly what is going to happen. Okay, we're gonna switch on over to the live play screen here. I hopefully that's coming up clean for everybody. Yeah, I think I'm just looking over here, just making sure everything. This is my first time getting this one on the new. By the way, I'm using a new computer tonight. I got a brand new computer just for all my videos and live streaming technologies. And by the way, it is running very, very smooth. I upgraded to a MacBook Pro with the M1 Max processor, and this thing is the best piece of hardware that I've ever encountered in my life. So
it's computing amazingly, Ryan. So congrats. Great job.
I'm trying. And everything still. My camera is still just my iPhone. that's all I'm still just using. It's just the good old iPhone. Okay, who's first player here? Oh my gosh, I'm first player. Oh crap!
Hey, I noticed that you picked the snake side of the board, and I just wanted to mention that's just my pet snake, Reggie.
Here we go. He's coming in.
Hey.
We're not missing a beat. We're not missing a beat.
Okay, so I am trying. It's still telling me it's opening the box, so I will try to get there. I'm working on it as best as I possibly can.
Oh, okay.
To
Well,
get into
it's
this game.
asking
It's
me.
giving me issues.
Well, it's asking me to take an action, so I think that means that I am the first player. And my goodness, do I have? Where's my hand of cards? Oh, there they are. They're up at the top. Okay. I'm gonna need to zoom in here. But my screen seems so far away. Oh my gosh, I'm freezing up. Where do I go? What do I do? What should I do? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
So when you play this in person, do you hide your hand at all, or do you guys not care?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's definitely hidden information. You don't share that with anybody.
I've never played it hidden.
Really?
Oh,
Did you
okay,
read the
really?
rule
Oh,
book?
is it?
Well, I know that you can, but at the same time, so many times it's just like, why? I don't need to hide this information. I guess there are certain things you could like factor in looking at other people's hands and being like, oh, okay, they have a coin card in their hand, so potentially they could get that thing I want to buy. But
So Danielle in chat just said, I just need someone to beat Tim since I lose to him all the time on this game. That's my wife. And Danielle, I just got through saying how competitive you are with me and how like we split wins all the time. So don't make me a liar here.
Okay.
No, she actually does. She has beat me a lot, but if she doesn't win all the time, then she feels like she loses all the time. So
oh my goodness, yeah,
it's perception.
this is the perfect
okay.
time. Tabletop Express. I feel less good about putting my money on Riley now. LOL. So, in chat, who do you think's gonna win this? After we just said how good Tim is.
Okay, I'm also just realizing that I'm actually absolutely horrible with this interface. I don't know if I've actually played this on. Now that I'm playing it, I don't know if I've actually played this on Board Game Arena. Because I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what the heck am I doing?
Oof. Okay, so I am blue. It's my turn.
I just took dollar redos on my first turn because dollar redos are always okay in my mind.
And I can see why you lose this game all the time.
Damn.
Right? I don't know. I don't know where to focus. I don't know where to focus here. Okay, what did Tim do? Oh, he went and got one of those red ruby thingamajiggers.
I do like that Lost Ruins of Arnak has a very clear economy about the value of the resources, and it's spelled out right in that 10 spaces, those first spaces. Coins, compasses, and tablets all have similar value. Mm-hmm. They're used for different things, but they have similar value. And then arrowheads are clearly double the value of all those things, and rubies are double the value of the arrowheads because it costs you another action or a card to do it. So I like it spells it out early, and you kind of know what the economy is. Hey, David, I know you mentioned that. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you while you're playing just to set you off on stuff here. You mentioned that you do playthrough video, or so you do unboxing videos on your channel, and I watched your unboxing video of Age of Galaxy today, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Because I got a chance to play it on Monday. We featured it on our podcast, and I really liked the game.
Play it? Yeah.
But I haven't seen the physical components of it yet because we played it on Tabletop Simulator. So
really?
It was cool to watch that. Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Very cool game. I want to pick it up though. It was good. I liked it a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it looks really neat. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I'm wondering when we get a chance to try out the game that we're trying to play here because it's not going anywhere. It's driving me insane. No,
you can always you can do a reboot if you need to, David. We can chat while we're waiting for you.
Yeah, I may.
Is it?
I may do that because
Is it
It's
just
just
load?
not
It's just
getting
it's just
anywhere.
load. It's just loading and loading.
Yeah, it's just opening the box, and I think so maybe I'll do
Yeah.
that. I will leave and I will come back
Sure.
with you
All
guys.
right.
So
Did you
all right.
try just hitting refresh?
Yeah, I've tried that a few times when
Okay.
it hasn't been going.
He's having
So
all
I'm
kinds of
gonna
audio issues and stuff though, so
yeah,
always do a
there's
reboot.
something's going on. So let
Did you
me
try turning it back on and off?
that's what we're doing. We're gonna do that right now. So I'll be back
Off and
shortly,
on.
hopefully.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Chris. It is the beauty of being live.
Yes, indeed.
And in all honesty, if we were actually just recording this too, I probably would have I would have edited it out anyways.
All right. Well, here's the thing, right? So David's leaving for a few minutes. We can get his input when he comes back, but I got a question for you all. This is an important question. Which of the two Indiana Jones movies is your favorite?
Which of the two? Which of the two?
Oh, yeah, you don't count. We don't count the other ones, right? We only count the two good ones.
What do you mean? The introduction
okay.
the introduction
Which
of
of the
aliens
four?
was amazing, right?
Which of the four Indiana Jones movies was your favorite?
Obviously, 4.
Rank them.
No.
Rank them. There we go, Brandon. Last Crusade. I like it, Brandon.
Yes.
Good choice.
Last Crusade
I
was
agree.
amazing.
It's 3, 1, 2, 4.
Okay, why am I going after Riley? Because that's yeah, ditto on what Riley just said.
When I was a kid, I would hide behind the couch and watch Temple of Doom like on repeat. But I would be so scared, and I don't know why. That is it. It was the worst of the 3 until the 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree on that. I never liked Temple of Doom, so I want to say that the fourth could be comparable or better, but it just is. It's so terribly choreographed and scripted. It doesn't feel real at all, which is the sad part about it.
Brian Chandler's going. Raiders is my fave. 1, 3, 2.
That's fair. I think 1 and 3 are comparable. Yeah. Last Crusade came out when I was, I think, 12 years old, and I went and saw it in the drive-in theater, and I was like the perfect age to experience Indiana Jones. You know, like as like a new movie, like I knew Indiana Jones, and so I got to see this one new just coming out in the theater, and so I just like it was a life-changing experience for me. So that's always been one of my favorite movies. But I still think it aged better. I think it was really well written and everything. But Raiders is great too.
And I apologize to everybody on the screen here. The videos all got shifted. David's video finally dropped out, but when David finally comes back in, everything I'm gonna have to do all the shifting, but that's okay.
Brian Chandler came in. Hey, Brian.
And there we go. Throw me the idol. I'll throw you the whip. Love the
Seth,
love
we're
the
going
quotes.
to use that line in the game tonight. There's idols in this game. Steal my thunder.
And there is a whip item, isn't there?
There is, yeah, there is. That'd be great.
Of course.
All right.
Oh, I'm out of the video and on the YouTube. Oh, there we go. I'm back.
Chris says, "Hi guys, Team Raiders here." So we got a couple of Raiders lovers.
Yes, we got a full chat
Topic
full
Expresses,
of
Southwest.
Raiders.
Ooh, everyone here is Last Crusade, and our audience is all Raiders. Interesting. David, you missed
Hi.
an important question. Can you hear us? You good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Give us your order of favorite Indiana Jones movies.
What'd you say?
Favorite Indiana Jones movies in order.
Oh boy. This is gonna be a controversial pick.
You're gonna be the tiebreaker here.
Oh man. Wow. Okay, so I am maybe one of the rare people that likes Temple of Doom best because it's the first one I saw, and it was kind of the most over the top, and all the others seem kind of like mellow comparatively to me. So I'm like, yeah, they're not as exciting.
All right, fair enough.
That did nothing for us.
Nope. But beauty.
I definitely didn't hate it, but being older, there's definitely problems with it.
Okay. So David, at least give us a tiebreaker. Do you prefer Raiders of the Lost Ark or Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade better? Which is your favorite?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, you broke the tie the wrong way. Are you in the game now? Is it working?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the sound's still super wonky, but I'm at least in the game. So I'm let me figure out what I got to do here. Okay.
At least it's all at the beginning. At least it's all at the beginning, and we haven't got like really, really far in.
Yeah, that terrifies me.
Oh, there we go. Brian threw out the Disneyland ride. So where does it goes 3-1 Disneyland ride 2-4.
I totally agree, Riley. I'm right there with you. I just rode that like 2 weeks ago too. That's a fun ride. It's a good one.
Oh,
That
that's
is a
awesome.
great ride.
I'm just gonna sit up here in Canada and never get to Disneyland.
No one's
They don't have a
stopping you from
Disneyland
coming
Canada?
down. Like,
Oh man, I should have gone to my storage and grabbed my Indiana Jones hat.
That's you definitely missed out. Let
What
us
a
know.
dummy.
let's see.
So I read. So Steven Spielberg basically directed 1 and 3. George Lucas directed 2, and I think he had a bigger hand in 4. And I think that is says a lot. So 5 is coming out next year, I think. But neither of them are directing it. They've handed off the reins to somebody else. So
Yeah, who
we'll
was
see.
it?
I forget who that was. Yeah, it was somebody who had directed some interesting stuff lately, but I can't remember who it was.
Wow. I hadn't
Maybe
heard that
somebody
one.
on the chat can tell us who's directing the new Indiana Jones movie next year.
James Mangold, who did Logan.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Logan. Well, that's
That was
good.
good.
That's good.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Seth says,
I mean,
"Where's
he's
the
he's done
Nazi
other
face
things
emoji?"
too, but
What else did he do? What were some of those others?
let's see. The Wolverine, 310 to Yuma. I liked that one.
Okay.
Walk the Line.
Hmm.
Girl Interrupted.
Yeah, solid director. That's good. Nice pick.
Yeah.
Brandon says, and Ford
Ford
versus Ferrari.
Yeah, that was just about to read
Oh, he
that
did
one.
that
Yeah.
too. I liked that movie a lot. I thought that was solid.
I never watched it.
Where's the Nazi face melting emoji?
Wow.
Missed opportunities and all programming ends. Okay. I have no idea what's going on right now. Who's taking turns? Oh man.
Yeah, I will say
there you
playing
go.
a 4-player game is a challenge here. The spots are a lot tighter.
Yeah.
The race up the track's a lot tighter, even though they do, they account for it a little bit by opening up some of the tent spaces. But it always feels like I can't quite accomplish as much in a 4-player game.
I feel like I'm really far zoomed out, and I don't know how to.
That's kind of how
Like I
feel
want to
like-
just focus on the board.
That's kind of how like mine feels like too. Like we're just looking at my screen. Everybody on screen right now is kind of looking at
Yeah.
my board and whatnots and everything. But I'm having a really hard time. But if I zoom in, let me see. This is probably going to screw everything up on the screen. But let's see if it happens.
Oh,
if
there
I
you go.
screen it.
On the layout, you could do the layout. There's auto. If you do the one that's just one, it'll kind of put it single.
Is that under the preferences?
No, it's on the right side underneath your red meeple there.
Oh, auto. Oh, okay. I sees. And now it says that I must select an action. Oh, okay. Now I don't.
So you'll
know.
have to scroll up to your cards, but at least then
Yeah.
you've got.
I'm gonna give
It definitely
everybody
looked a
on
lot-
stream. I'm gonna give everybody on stream a lot of vertigo because I'm just gonna be scrolling up and
Yeah.
down a
It
lot.
looked a lot better in stream when you had it all on one.
Just all on one.
screen.
I'm having a hard time just seeing, and I even got my new glasses, and I'm having a hard time seeing these. Oh my gosh, gracious! What should I
Seth
do?
asked, so for Arnak solo, is it better to focus on the sites, guardians, or research track, or both? Yeah, it's both, but you need to get up that research track. The expansion changes that a little bit, but if you're not getting to the top of the research track, you're probably not doing super well. But get those guardians when you can. They help you get up the research track because you can, you're going to the expeditions and getting lots of great resources from them, getting the extra bonuses from the guardians. So it's kind of a combination, but I think you need to get up the track to do really well in the base game.
So I haven't played the solo, and I know you were saying earlier that the game goes quick. Is it quite a bit quicker than a multiplayer game?
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Okay.
knock it out in about 20-25 minutes for a game
Oh
of it.
wow, real
That's
fast.
really
Wow.
quick because
Neat.
it doesn't take any time to manage the AI. You flip a little tile over and then block a spot, and that's basically all you're doing. You
Oh wow.
maybe
I
remove a
mean,
guardian or stuff like that, but
I think it's like 40 to 50 minutes with setup and takedown.
well, okay, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true, and it does have a bit of setup and takedown. But when I've played it solo, I generally will put it up on my game tail and leave it up for like 4 or 5 sessions, and then
Oh
I can
yeah.
just sit there and just knock it out quickly. All right, I'm gonna
I
grab
think with
my favorite artifact in the game, the army knife, right now.
Oh boy.
ooh,
It's just so
I think
versatile.
my favorite thing about the solo is that it uses the other three explorers, and so it's just like your turn, their turn,
Yeah,
but then it's placing those other.
yeah, you're blocking
So
a
you
lot of
have a
spaces
full.
quick, right?
Yeah, it's like playing a four-player game with one opponent, so it goes pretty quick. It's not. Oh, and it's my turn.
I'm just taking it all in again because of like, man, when was the last time I actually played this game?
Yeah, it's been a bit for me. For a while, I was like always in a game of this, and then for some reason, I've been not so much in the last, I don't know, few months or whatever. So
I want to address some criticism I've heard of the game, and that is that people have criticized, hey, you have to rush up the track. That's kind of lame. But I don't know, like that's the whole point. It's the Lost Ruins. You're exploring the Lost Ruins. That's like what the game is. So you do the
right.
other things to support that goal, and you can get points in other places, but I think it's okay for a game to have a focus with other, scoring opportunities. Every game doesn't have to be like 4 different routes to victory that are all equally balanced. So I kind of
So
reject that criticism, but
I
Yeah.
feel guilty every time I teach this because I tell them that. I say the research track is your main way to get points. These other ways are great. And then I get obsessed with like exploring and defeating the guardians, and then I end up winning by a ton, and I'll be the lowest on the research track.
I mean,
So
it's not the only way to win, but obviously,
yeah,
I bet your opponents are not getting to the top of the research track, or they're not doing other things in conjunction. It does require a combination. Like you can't just get to the top of the research track and win the game. You also have to pick up some guardians. You have to buy some artifacts and relics. Like there's points coming from multiple places.
yeah. My wife always is like the first one up the track. So
Oh
two,
really?
I've had her even get like 2 or 3 tablets from the top, like a silver one and 2 of the lower ones, and I'll still win by a hearty amount.
Well, I can't wait to see your amazing strategy tonight, Riley. And show us
It's
how it's
not
done.
looking good so far.
Show us how it's done.
Normally, I
Oh,
would have
right,
explored.
I don't have a. Right. Undo everything that I just did.
Whoop, whoop.
So Chris Coates said in the chat that I'd rather lose and follow my sense of adventure, and I like you, Chris. I decided I'm gonna do something like, oh, that sounds fun, and then I realized like, oh, this was not a good plan, but it was fun whatever I did. So I mean, that's cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to win. I really am, but it's just I get distracted easily. I'm like a squirrel. So
I do
Yeah.
really like one of the things the expansion adds is a double-sided board that covers the exploration track or whatever it's called,
hmm,
the temple
Okay.
track. And so it's got like 2 new temples, but the tracks change the balance quite a bit. Like if you move your magnifying glass at the top of the track, there's a lot of negative effects up there. And if you move
hmm.
your notebook up, there's a lot more points and effects to get there. But it tends to be a little bit more balanced that you can focus on other parts of the game a little more, I think. So I think that's pretty neat. All right, who just took that card out of my hand that I just wanted?
Me?
Mr. Rao.
Me? Because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Ooh, me
Who? Valhalla.
couldn't be.
Trowel. You got the trowel, right? The one that gets you yeah. Darn it.
Darn it. It looked
All
okay.
right.
It looked okay, and I had 1 gold left. Seth likes collecting guardians. I think the research track is not as fun as visiting sites. Yes.
Same.
Well, Seth, now you know why you haven't won yet.
Whoa.
Damn.
Guys don't like moving up tracks. This is that's the most Euro-y part about this game. Got to move up some tracks.
collect resources, turn them in to do things, and you always find
bonuses.
yourself one short when you really, really need it. That's all the definition of a good Euro right there.
I feel like as an explorer, I would be in some kind of like absent-minded explorer movie because I always go to these places and then like, oh yeah, Guardians. Yeah, I'm not prepared for that one. All right, well. That's how it goes.
My goodness gracious. Idle bonuses. Oh, right. Idle bonuses. I'm just looking at these.
So I said I'm
Like
not
trying
buying,
to remember how to play this game.
I said I'm not buying any t-shirts now. We put our merch store up last night, so he said he was gonna buy a shirt earlier today.
Oh, hey, yeah.
So the only reason I put a merch store up is because Seth asked me wanted to buy one of our shirts. That's it.
Hey, that's
Just
the
for
only
yourself.
reason why I put a merch store up.
Just for Seth.
Just for Seth. And then Riley was like,
Wow.
I'd buy a shirt too. And then look what Riley's wearing tonight.
Nice shirt, Riley.
The color looks off on the camera, and I don't know why, but it's a lot more like yellow.
Yeah, I can
Like
see
your
on
actual
Ryan's
logo.
shirt is much brighter than yours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it's my light I have on. So that's really. I mean, did you buy your shirt from the same site?
No, I got my shirt done actually locally. Got
Oh,
mine
okay.
done, but they don't have they don't have like a web store that I can put it all up on.
Breaking news:
Yeah.
Ryan's merch store is selling crap merchandise.
Damn.
Ooh, shots
It may
fired.
it may smell funny when you get it.
Oh my goodness. It is the grossest thing. When you open that thing, it's just like, whoa.
No chemicals were used in making this shirt.
I immediately threw it in the wash.
Did that help? Did it fix it? Good
Yes,
now?
yeah. I went with the cheaper one though, and I recommend just going for the, premium shirt. It's like $4 more, and I don't know why I didn't do that. Because I think I think it'll loosen up a little bit, but
Hey-
it's still nice. Like
Hey,
it's
that
comfortable.
extra $4 you spent probably would have put like 25 cents into my.
Yeah.
I was amazed. I went on there and there was like 8 different kinds of t-shirt, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this stuff means. And then my wife came in and was looking at us like, so this fabric blend means this, and I'm like, I'm glad I have her because I don't know what all this stuff was. So I had like all the possibilities up on mine, and I narrowed it down to just like a few because it was insane to try to look at it. So
Yeah, I saw yours when you were working on it, right? We recorded
Yeah.
on your channel, and then it was like too much, too much, David. Don't just put every product on there.
I like to give people options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what anyone wants. That's the
Okay,
thing.
I have.
I mean, I definitely. Oh, go ahead.
I have a serious question on my turn here, because I think I'm already running out of things to do. That's normal for the first round, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
Yes.
passing out when it comes back around to me. So
Okay, so just taking like a couple compasses on my turn here. That's probably just okay, and then just passing.
yeah, I
because
mean, you can't do anything else really because
Yeah.
if you don't have another worker left,
Yeah.
and you don't have any cards you
okay,
can play, then
that's what
it.
okay, I think I remember that from earlier.
I got like 2 or 3 more turns. What are you talking about?
Well,
Wow.
because you're showing off.
Yeah, yeah.
You're showing us actually how to play this game.
Yeah.
Seth says, I'm going to wait till next payday to buy shirts. Tim is forcing me to buy all these paints for minis. I saw your guys' little conversation going out on Twitter about
Yeah,
mini
we're gonna
painting.
we're gonna paint Wonderland's War together. We set ourselves a deadline,
Oh,
a starting
that's
date,
cool.
and a deadline. So I just got my paints in the mail today. This will be my first mini painting experience. I'm excited about it. My family does a family paint night every few weeks where we just get out some canvases and do some paintings. We have a whole wall in our house that's just filled with, family paintings. That's going to be my mini painting night from now on. They can paint
That's
canvases.
cool.
I'm going to paint minis.
I don't have the patience.
wanna
My
make
wife
a
and I do something like that. She'll set up on the table and paint, and then I'll paint minis next to her. So
Nice.
it's fun.
I
Your
just look
cats
at
get
all my
involved?
minis and cry because I can't get time to paint them. That's what I do with my minis.
Oh,
I've got a lot of paint though, so that's good. Uh,
I've started working again on my anachrony figures,
Nice.
and
That's
Oh,
cool, man.
beautiful.
Yeah, I might tackle Anachrony if I'm happy with the Wonderlands War stuff, because the Anachrony figures seem like they're pretty paintable too, not too
yeah, we're
detailed.
not too difficult. Yeah, we're real easy.
Puppet show time, folks.
Hey David, is it as
Yeah.
hot as you were worried it was going to be tonight in your garage?
Well, I've got this little battery operating fan right now, which is keeping me alive. But before I got that, because I was trying not to use it because I don't know when the battery's gonna die and I have no idea where the plug is. I was so like sweaty. I'm like, this is gonna be disgusting. I'm gonna be panting and passing out on the screen with heat stroke. But hopefully it'll last for a bit. It is warm. It was like I think it got up to like 90 today, and then I'm just in my garage and it's just stuffy and it's not awesome, but it's all right.
Yeah, it was a fantastic 92 degrees here in Saskatoon, and it's been the 5th day at 90 plus, and I am slowly dying. Because my son wants to play outside all the time. I'm like, do you understand the
Yeah.
concept of heat? And that our bodies are drained by the time we come inside. And Dad's not used to this. Give me the winter. I love the winter, folks. That's because I'm
Is my
Canadian.
fan, by the way, anyone in chat or in here is? I have my ceiling fan on. Is that like? Is there that fan noise?
No.
Is it annoying at all?
I
Okay.
hear it.
I don't hear it, but I hear mine. So I don't...
Well, you know,
Cool.
can you guys hear my white noise machine going on over here? Is that okay? Too bad.
Is that rain? Is it? I just thought it was heavy rain.
I mean, look, it's
Ooh,
summer.
we
I don't think
could've
anyone
played,
wants to
like,
watch this stuff around
jungle.
here. Oh,
Jungle white
theme.
noise.
Well,
That
maybe
would've been cool.
yeah, I'll try for the next stream. I'll try to find some thematic music that I can have like lightly playing in the background for the chat and everything like that. Now I'm just thinking of, like, that episode of The Simpsons where he's like, I'm gonna make some of the calming noises like. Oh, hey, I got some cards.
Hey, that's nice.
New round.
What's going on here? What? Okay, what came up?
Good to be first player.
Ooh.
Now, in this game, first player never shifts, right? It just kind of stays in the same
It does.
order through the whole.
No.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
it
well,
does
no, you
rotate.
mean yes. You rotate, but you're right. It just passes clockwise.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what you're asking. Yeah, it doesn't have one of those interesting turn order mechanisms where turn order is determined by something that happens, and then everybody forgets what order you're supposed to go in and stuff.
Gotcha. Oh, hey, I just made a big decision in my life. I'm going to move in with Seth because it's 68 degrees over there. So
I heard that
Oh my gosh.
my office is in Illinois, close to where Seth is, and everyone's been telling me there it's been really nice and cool lately. So I might have to be out there in a couple of weeks, Seth. I've got a friend who just got married, and he might be having like a little bit of a kind of a wedding party, but he hasn't. They're being slow at planning it, so I don't know for sure. But I might be out there in a few weeks. I'll get a game with you.
okay, my turn.
So Lost Ruins of Arnak, printed in 2020. The other great games from 2020 that you guys love. I know what are
Oh,
your favorite
hands
2020
down.
games?
We all already know it.
Yeah,
On
we
3, 1, 2, 3.
Marvel
Marvel
United.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What's wrong with you guys?
Number
We
one
can't
game
help-
of 2020, buddy.
Oh, shit. Oh, oops, excuse me.
I did. It's funny. I actually pulled up a list of 2020 games today, and I was saddened to see Marvel United somewhere in the top 20 on that list from 2020. I think it's up in the 300s or something like that.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
you wouldn't understand this, Tim, but some people really like excellent games, and it's just, they're not for you. I get it, but a lot of people prefer them. Actually, it's weird, but
If you ask my son what his favorite game is, he'll say Marvel United. But that's okay. I will actually 100% accept that it is more of a family, maybe even go as far as a kid's game. I'll go that far. But I really enjoy it. All the villains are extraordinary puzzles to try to figure out, right, Riley?
Oh yeah, I love it. And they feel so thematic. And then if you play on heroic mode and you take out the wilds of it, I think the characters start feeling more thematic. With the wilds in it, it feels like they feel same kind of.
Chris is saying he's got to run. Good night, Chris.
Good night, Chris.
It's because we started talking Marvel United, huh?
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
see what happens, guys. Marvel United ruins.
Sorry,
everything.
Chris.
But thanks for dropping by. Okay. Now what was I gonna do? Dang it.
Okay, but for real, great games of 2020. I was looking through that list today too, and there's so many good ones.
Yeah, 2020
There
was
are
a
a
great year
lot.
for games.
It's crazy.
I think
I was
for
trying to look
me,
through the whole list, and I had to stop looking because I found so many that I played. I was like, I'm not going to talk about all these anyway. It's impossible. So
yeah, I really loved. Oh, you know what? Actually, Merv came out in 2020, and that was one of the first episodes of board game or cardboard conjecture that I listened to
Right, yeah.
because I was going to be playing it that weekend.
Did you play Merv, Riley?
Yeah, it was
how'd you
so
like it?
good.
Is it? I never got a chance to play that. I'd like to try that one.
Yeah.
It's quite the team.
Yeah, we did Norm and I, when I was on Cardboard Conjecture, we guest appeared on another Canadian podcast. They're not around anymore, but Friday Night Games. They did this kind of the unsung hero edition of the greatest games of 2020, like the games that should have got a lot more love in 2020. We did this competition where we talked about all the different things like thematics and gameplay and story and blah, blah, blah about the games. And Merv was our choice for, I think it was a great unsung hero of 2020 that I think more people should have gotten. At least here in Canada, the price point on Merv was extremely high. And I think that deterred a lot of people away from actually picking it up. At least in distribution here, I think it got to one site was about $70 Canadian. And that was my criticism, was I don't feel like I'm playing a $70 game in the end. So
Yeah,
there are so
I
many
agree.
games. Merv comes up 25 or 30 in the list for 2020. But there's half a dozen games after Merv even that I would say were top 10 games from 2020. So there was just a ton of great games that year.
Yeah, there really were.
I
just brought that one because that was my introduction to to Ryan, essentially.
Yeah, that's great. I think I might have listened to that episode, actually. I was listening to Friday Night Games before they shut down, a year ago or something like that.
Yeah, it was about that now. Yeah. Matt and John, they're fantastic folks. I hope they discover this stream at some point in time, because I really would like them to come back in some form or another, because they were two excellent gentlemen and knew a lot about games and like that. And I always loved listening to their stuff.
Yeah, the funny thing is I got introduced to them because a fan of ours who's in Canada, Jeff Milton, he happened to tag us in a post on one of their basically I think they were talking about Godspeed right after we reviewed it, and he tagged them. He's like, "Hey, I just listened to Board Game Hot Takes show on that." So I had not even heard of them before, and I went and listened to their podcast and started listening to it a little bit. And that kind of exposed me to Cardboard Conjecture, exposed me to Meeple Dungeon.
Yeah,
right? Is that it? Yeah. So that was interesting.
The Meeple Dungeon. I'll give them a plug. Rob and Anna Marie from Kelowna, BC. One of the cutest couples in board gaming I've had. I've never actually physically ever met them, but we've played a lot of games online, and their podcast was inspired by, they appear on the hey, it's Wednesday, so the What You've Been Playing Wednesday podcast just dropped on the Cardboard Conjecture channel today. I don't think they've missed a contribution. 84 episodes later, they've contributed every single week on that one. So Rob and
wow.
Anna Marie Meeple Dungeon podcast. Give them a listen. You won't be disappointed. Cute husband and couple just blabbing about games every week.
Check out next week's episode because Board Game Hot Takes is going to be on it as well as Maple Dungeon. So that'll be my first
Whoa.
contribution to what you've been playing Wednesday.
Sweet.
Nice. I'm going to be doing it at some point, but not yet. I haven't gotten my recording in, so sometime.
At some time.
Oh man.
So anyway, 2020 games. Number one, the top rated game was Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. Second
Good one.
rated game was actually the best game of all time, which was Dune Imperium.
Fantastic
The
game.
third rated game, Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy. Another fantastic game, my number 31 game of this year. And then Lost Ruins of Arnak was number 4. So yeah, lots of great stuff. Right, Beyond the Sun just broke into the top 100. That was also released in 2020. You got Viscounts of the West Kingdom, which was my number 14 game of this year. Under Falling Skies, a fantastic solo game. Calico, Dwellings of Eldervale, Nidavellir. Like, so many good games here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Dwellings.
Mariposas.
I feel like I haven't scratched the surface of Dwellings of Eldervale yet, and I've played it a good number of times now. But I want to try. I really kind of want to try all the factions because some of them I was shocked at how fun they were compared to. I mean, they're all good, but some I really liked. But
Seth just asked, Under Falling Skies, love anyone? Yeah, Seth, I think it's a great game. I picked that up at a con a couple months ago for $10. Somebody was selling it used, and they had like barely opened it. It was so good.
Yeah, I actually plan on one of these Wednesdays. My plan for the live streams is actually every other week, every second week. I'm going to be doing just some solo plays, and I have Under Falling Skies as going to be one of the Wednesdays coming up in probably September
Nice.
here. So I will show off Under Falling Skies sometime in September. But yeah, I really enjoy what they managed to do as a solo only Space Invader. So I'm just calling it Space Invaders the game because that's pretty much what's going on.
Accurate.
Yeah, it's a very thinky though dice placement game where your dice not only determine what actions you get, but also how much the invaders are attacking you. So you have to be very cautious about taking a big action with the dice, like a 6-pip dice, because that means the invader is going to come down 6 spaces. So really cool decisions in that. Have you played through the campaign at all, Ryan?
I think if I open up the box, which is somewhere, I don't know exactly where it is behind me, but I'm pretty sure I played through 3 of the. I think it's 5. I think I played through 3 of the 5, and they all felt quite a bit different, based on the your starting home city that's at the very bottom, and then just the way the other boards are like. There's a different combination of boards that are flipped over, side A, side B's type thing. They actually do feel a little bit more different.
Yeah, I've only played one of the campaign scenarios. It was pretty fun. Seth was asking, how does that excavator work? So if you're asking about an Under Falling Skies, basically when you use one of the dice that you've rolled, you can use one of the dice to move the excavator the number of pips on the die, which is good because it opens up more actions for you.
Right.
But of course, you give up a different action that turn, like attacking the aliens or researching or whatever. So it's a little bit of a trade-off.
Yeah, because the further down that it manages to get, you get the more powerful I believe the actions do get more powerful and better
they
for
do,
you
for
to
sure.
use. And
Yeah, it just gives you more options too, because otherwise, if you don't ever excavate, then you're kind of stuck with just like, hey, if I've got 5 dice and I've got to use 5 spaces, I can only do 1 attack, right? But if you can excavate down, you could potentially do a couple different attacks in different spaces, things like that. Gives you some flexibility.
now let's take a step back to that Dune Imperium, because Dune Imperium being not above Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion is criminal in this in this conversation. But
Agreed.
of course a lot of comparisons came to Lost Ruins of Arnak and Dune Imperium. They both came out at the same time. Both involve a little bit of deck building. Both involve some worker placement and everything. So I thought that was actually really interesting that 2 games came out at the same time, essentially, that blended two mechanics that weren't blended together before.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting observation.
Yeah, it's kind of like that thing where you'll have a year where all of a sudden there are two summer movies that drop at the same time, and they're both on, like volcanoes, or you'll have two summer movies that are both like it's the Ants movie versus Bugs Life, right? So you get those, and it's not like they're copying each other, but sometimes these ideas just culminate. I think, like deck building and worker placement are two mechanisms that have been around for 12 years. Everybody loves them. So eventually somebody was going to come up with the idea, and they just happened to come together at the same time, I think is what happened. But it's pretty interesting they came out right at once.
Just like, what was it? Bee games about bees.
Right.
There's the game Bees, and I think there was Honey Buzz, and I want to say that there was a third one, but I can't, not off the top of my head.
Oh, you guys took all the boat spaces. Oh.
Boats. All right.
Yeah, I forgot we were playing on the Snake Temple side, so I was trying to go for one of the plane spots and couldn't go. Oh.
Exactly.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
There we go.
Exactly.
There we go.
Dang it! How did I miss
weird.
that?
What is this?
So what are like I don't think I've actually played on the snake side. What are the actual differences between this and the other side?
Thematically, you'll see that there's the one assistant up in the middle of the board. So those are supposed to be basically like assistants that started to explore the temple and got lost.
Okay.
So you're going to go in and rescue assistants. So that's a little bit different. And then mostly it's just on this side of the board, you got some different spaces. Like look up at the top, exploration spaces, where it's like there's a boat and a ship and a boot and an airplane instead of just two boots and two boats. So just some differences there. The track has some slightly different, or the art. Good one, Riley. Thanks for calling that out.
No, I said harder.
Oh, harder.
But also, yes, the art.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a little more difficult. It definitely adds a little interest, I think.
Yeah.
Things
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say things like the second space up with your notebook in this one, you can scrap a card with it, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's just a difference. It changes up the spaces.
It's definitely a more difficult climb. But on the bottom board of the physical version, what's the other side of where the resources are? I've never used it, and I feel like I didn't see it in the rule book.
There's nothing on the other side. It's just art on the other side, isn't it?
That's all it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you could switch it over,
like,
if you just want the full art without the like circles and stuff on it, then you can just use that. But
okay.
Yeah. I have to say though, from a production perspective, I think that's one of my favorite parts about this game is that little sideboard for putting the resources on, because I think that's missing. Most games don't have a space to put the resources, and then you just got piles of resources on the table. Yeah. That really bugs me. So I really like the organized nature of Lost Ruins.
Does anybody have an insert for their Lost Ruins of Arnak?
I don't yet, only because I expect there's going to be more expansions.
More stuff.
So I'll wait till there's a finished, till the expansions are done before I pick up an insert on it.
I feel like everything fits in the box, even with the expansion. It fits fairly nicely in there. It's got a lot of extra room, so
yeah, there's
they're planning stuff.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised when I got that. I did the unboxing, and when I opened it, I was actually worried that I had a counterfeit copy because it just seemed like stuff was sort of thrown in there.
It does, right?
It looks like
I remember that too.
It's like this can't be right? Like,
yeah, they didn't even put any they didn't put any kind of like cardboard inserts or even like little plastic inserts, cheap plastic inserts or anything to kind of hold it in place. I remember that too. It felt cheap opening it up because the box itself is a little flimsy too, but otherwise the production's pretty nice, so I can't really complain about it.
I mean, every card has unique art, which is kind of amazing.
Except that you got to put stickers on stuff.
Not screen printed.
Come on CG. My screen printed.
I was going to mention that is a trademark of Czech Games Edition's games, is that They are usually very beautiful artwork, lots of nice components and everything like that. But all of their games do just come just thrown into a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point.
It's pretty much there's no real good insert that's there for like transporting the game. Everything just kind of like loosey goosey on the inside and stuff.
I mean,
like
let's
that.
face it, we were all going to throw that insert out anyway, so they're probably just being environmentally conscious. I think
There
they're
you
probably
go.
probably doing the right thing there.
Which is
I
wouldn't
think
be
just
cared
like my
except for that.
dog. The dog is like my second favorite card, my second favorite artifact in the game. You took it.
Noise.
no.
I was surprised it was still there because it was there at the beginning of the round.
Yeah. I like him. I just like my
Me
good
too.
boy.
Inserts in games, man. Do you guys generally toss the factory insert?
Most of them, yeah, because
Yeah.
they make setup and tear down harder. I like to use little like plastic trays. I use the Stonemaier ones, but I use little plastic trays to put all my resources in, so you can just pop them out of the box and open them. You don't have to like mess with stuff, but it's hard to fit all that stuff in with a production insert.
David, are you saving your money for something?
Don't look at my money. You look somewhere else.
You have so much.
Oh my gosh, $8.
So many coins.
I didn't have much
$8.
else to do, so I was like, well, I might as well use this to.
Well, he's
Yeah,
got,
so-
what you got?
Well, you
there's
could have
cards-
bought stuff.
There's cards to buy.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's got a secret objective card that we don't know about. Wait, there's not secret objectives in this game.
Well, I wrote one down. I wrote down a secret.
That's how I'm
objective. You don't
feeling.
need to know about it.
There's
Made
some
it
Like,
sort
I
of
must be doing something wrong.
there's
I
a
can get
board
my-
game arena. There's a board game arena achievement that we don't know about that he's gonna try to score.
Yeah. There
But
you go.
you know you can't turn that gold in for real cash at the end of the game, right?
Oh, wait. What? Wait, what? Sorry. Oh man. Okay.
So call back to the conversation we've been having, but so inserts and Dune Imperium. So I had Dune Imperium. I had the expansion for it. It'll fit fine in the box, but not too special. And then I decided to bring it out to Chicago. I actually was going out there to play games with Seth and our other listener Chris and our friend Mike. And then I left my games in my hotel, so I never even got it played. But I ended up busting up the box on the flight. Like the box got all messed up.
Oh no.
So it's one of my favorite games. I didn't want a messed up box, so I ended up buying that upgraded, like the large box with the minis and everything in it for Dune Imperium, which I had committed not to do because I thought the production was just fine without them, but I just wanted a nicer box. But that's a pretty nice set. It's like it's got a plastic insert and everything in there. It fits the expansion content.
No regrets.
No, not for that. I got plenty of regrets, Riley, but not for that.
Yeah, I have it. Ooh, which way am I going? I just have it just over my shoulder. I have the big Dune Imperium box. I loved the production that it came with, and apparently that new expansion is supposed to fit inside of there as well. The content.
It looks like there was a little space left over, and I'm so excited for that expansion. I'm picking that up like day one. I don't know if they're pre-ordering it yet. I should check that out. But have you guys played it with the Rise of X expansion yet?
I believe just once when it first came out, and I thought it was actually really neat.
Yeah, it's so good. It pushed it from my like number 3 game to my number 1 game. It was
Gave you more stuff to do with the Solari, which was really great. Because I always found that you just piled it up in the base game, and you used it a few times, then all of a sudden, blip, it's done.
Seth asked, "How was the solo play of Dune Imperium?" So I got a story here, Seth. So when I first bought Dune Imperium and I tried it solo, and I bought Lost Ruins and I tried it solo, I said I'm never gonna play Dune solo again because you basically have to run 2 opponent bots, that do stuff. And I was like, it's a lot of work, and I feel like it's kind of random. But I liked Lost Ruins solo a lot. And then the Rise of X expansion, even though it still has the same issue, the game is so exciting and so fun, even as a solo game. So you've got to check it out. If you get the Rise of X expansion, Dune Imperium is fantastic solo.
I don't think that I can do another thing here, so I think I'm at a pass. Unless if I'm missing something. Well, wait, what do I have for these fancy cards?
Riley and David, you guys even played Dune Imperium?
No.
Oh my God.
No. So
That was on my
my
that was on
okay.
my five games in the top 100
That's right. That
RPG
you
that I
don't want to
didn't want to
play.
play.
Oh
Yeah.
my
You
God.
don't want to play? Oh my
You're
goodness.
killing me, man.
So
I would play
my
it.
wife
I'm not excited to.
my wife actually made a new friend, and one of their favorite games is Dune Imperium. And I keep telling them, like, we've had, I don't know, 3 or 4 game nights, and I'm like, I really, like, from the very beginning, I told them, I want to play Dune Imperium. And they keep choosing to play, like, Wingspan and, other games, Lords of Waterdeep, which are great, but I really want to do Dune Imperium.
Zoe said I've played Dune Imperium. I liked it as much as I can enjoy a worker placement deck builder. Yeah, and Zoe is not a big fan of Euros. So,
Hmm.
but that's high praise that you liked it as much as you could for those games. So, I'm not surprised Zoe
Yeah.
liked that though, because there's a lot of conflict in it, a lot of big surprise moments with the
Oh,
conflict.
gotcha.
So, that's probably a nice improvement on a Euro game for you.
So Zoe,
I
have you played Dune? Have you played this as well? And if so, which one do you like more, Arnak or Dune Imperium?
I think I am at a.
David, you can. You were about to say something.
I need to make myself read or watch Dune, and man, I don't know. I'm like, it's this desert
Oh, I can
worm.
Oh,
I
I
like
just
the movie a lot
it
too, the new
doesn't
movie.
it doesn't look exciting to me,
Yeah.
so I'm not like jazzed about the theme. And it might be that I truly love it. I don't know, but like until I make myself get into it, like I just see Dune, I was like, that looks like a it's like they took sci-fi and put it in the most boring setting possible. It looks like purely judging book by cover, like it looks like the most boring thing they could have done with science fiction. But I fully admit that could be completely wrong. So
I would say I was never
I
excited
thought
about the Dune IP either, but when the game came out and then I think it was the game that I played first and that got me excited for the movie. So then
oh,
I watched the movie and I loved the movie. So
hmm.
hey,
Yeah, I
David,
wasn't interested in the movie. Put it off for like months, and then finally, late at night, I thought, well, I'll just watch it. I've got nothing going on. I'll put it on in the background, and I ended up not doing what I was trying to do because it just sucked me in. It was
nice.
stupid good, and it felt so short, even though it
It's
was
so
insanely
it's so
long.
beautiful. It's got such great acting in it, and just it's a
Yeah.
pretty interesting story too, believe it or not, even though not a whole lot happens. But hey, David, we're talking about Dune Imperium, not Don't Imperium. Get with it.
Ha 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 ha.
Dang it!
Uh, he's here all week, folks. Try the veal.
Yeah, this amazes me. I always think of myself as like a super like dad joke person, but every time I come in here, like Tim like is just like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sit back and take it all in.
Oh man, you gotta
He's
follow.
ready.
You gotta like be friends with David on Facebook because he shares all of these like random memes all the time, and they're absolutely hilarious.
I try to pick them well. Okay, what do I?
I just a couple of weeks ago I deleted Facebook, the Facebook app off my phone because I
Oh
don't
wow.
like Facebook as a platform anymore. I quit it years ago until I got back into it for the podcast, but I was following Dave and I was enjoying his posts. But recently I started to find myself getting caught into like the little icon would show that there's videos to watch. And I don't even like watching, like stupid videos online, but I would get caught up in this like little like TikTok-y version of Facebook where it was just like random videos and I would sit there and watch stupid stuff for an hour all the time and it was such a waste of time. So I finally deleted it a couple weeks ago. So David, I'm only seeing your posts now when I log into Facebook like once a week to post about our new episode. So I'm missing out on all that goodness. You got to post that stuff on
Yeah.
Twitter. Come on, be
I,
fair. Be
yeah, I guess so. I suppose I gotta share the love around. I
So
guess, but
so Tim, are we somewhat the same? Because I was literally laying in bed last night trying to fall asleep, and I got sucked into I don't even know what I don't know what they call them, but like the kind of like the shorts, like
The reels or whatever.
yeah, the reels or anything like that. And I was just like, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden it got into my feed where there's a guy that did a bunch of like magic tricks. And I started watching like a whole bunch of magic tricks over and over again. And I think I just kept watching them, just like, how? How? Where's the magic? It's all in the post production, right? It's all in the post production.
There you go.
Adam said Temple of Doom. Come on, Adam. Come on.
It's the best
Team
one.
Board Game
It's the
Hot
best
Takes here.
one.
What are you doing? Jeez.
Okay, on a scale of 0 to a heart gets ripped out, I think Temple of Doom ranks highest of all of them. So
Kalima,
yeah.
And we'll put a 3D filter in there so the hand looks like it's coming right out at you.
Plenty of sexism and racism to go around in that one too.
There probably is. I probably don't want to look back at it. I haven't watched it in several years, and I probably shouldn't. I probably should just enjoy like the parts I remember and think that was fine and not worry about that. So
That's a good way to live.
yeah, I think it's the only way. So
I do love the opening scene though. I love the I forget the name of the song, but where they just like it opens up with a Chinese version of an old musical number. I forget what the musical it's from. Something on a boat. Anyway, that's my favorite opening scene of all the movies, of all the Indiana Jones movies.
I just remember the dinner scene where they're eating like beetles, and man, that made an impression on me as a kid. I was scarred for life, but it was I could still picture it perfectly. Oh man, good stuff.
Now I'm just thinking about Lonely Island and I'm on a boat.
Totally.
I'm on a boat.
I can't even tell you the number of times I've sang that song in my life when I was on an actual boat.
Whoa, okay, mister, I'm on a boat. The rest of us just have to sing it on land.
We lived Adam still lives in Long Beach, but I used to live just like a couple miles away from him in Long Beach, but we lived right on the ocean in this little it's kind of a man-made island called Naples Island, and it had canals running through it. And it was kind of in a bay, so it was protected. So the thing to do there is that there's two places in the country where you can get these little boats called Duffy boats, and they're basically electric boats. They go about 5 miles per hour. And we used to call them a floating dining room table because it was just like 12 chairs with a big table in the middle of it and one person driving the boat. And so we bought a used one and we rented a dock because we weren't right on the canals. We rented a dock down at someone's canal. And so we used to get on that thing like every weekend and just like tool around the canals at 5 miles per hour, have some beers out of the fridge. And I used to sing I'm on a boat all the time while doing that.
That sounds like a good time.
The only way I know that song is because I saw some video where someone had like superposed that over the Muppets singing, and so that was hilarious. But otherwise, I probably wouldn't know about it. But that was a good video.
Maurice, hey.
Maurice joined the chat. Hey, Maurice, what's up?
Hey, welcome. Gonna teach you something outside of the Marvel world tonight.
Last week for the very, very first live stream, Seth and Maurice dropped by and made sure that everything was sounding and looking okay, and I appreciated that. I played through an Exit, the game, escape room game in a box on stream,
that's right.
and I felt embarrassed because I always pump up how I'm really, really good at escape rooms and escape room games. And this one had puzzles in it that really, really stumped me.
I have to assume it's hard to run a live stream, though, and actually interact with anybody in chat while doing an escape room game.
I would think so.
Because, I mean, you got to focus on it, right? You got to...
Well, it was just, it was Seth and Maurice for a while, and I was chatting with them. And then it got really late for them, and then it just ended up being me. And so now there's a live stream out there with just me playing this exit game and kind of like cussing and swearing because I can't solve some of the puzzles without having to get hints.
I guess Maurice and Seth didn't help you too much then.
No, I think it was Seth's first exposure to an exit escape room game, and yeah, they pack a lot of stuff inside a really, really tiny little box.
Are all the exit games, are those all the Ink and Marcus brand designs? I know they did some of them at least.
All of them are. Yeah. That's kind of like
I do prefer brand. I think I prefer the Unlock series a little bit. I think most people prefer exits, but I've enjoyed the Unlocks a little bit more, even though they're a little simpler structure to them.
In my thing, I love the experience with unlocks. The unlock experience is second to none. It's absolutely amazing. But I like the puzzles of Exit better. So if they could have Exit level puzzles in the unlock series, I'd be sold 100%.
Did you do the Star Wars unlock yet?
Yes, and it's great.
Yeah, it was so fun. They were easier. They were some of the easier ones I've done, but they were a blast to play through. We still have one more to do. I've done the first two. I want to do the last one still. Super fun, really thematic, really good use of the system.
Have you guys tried any of the Escape Tales games? I think there's 3 right now.
Mm-mm.
I did
I've
2
never
of them.
even heard of them.
I had to do them reviews of them when I was doing written reviews. There's like ones I played are Low Memory, which is sort of cyberpunky-ish, and then there's Children of Wormwood, which is kind of fantasy, sort of weird, but it's like there's basically like 3 chapters to each, and like they're each one is fairly long, like they're like 3 hours or so each, and you go through a series of puzzles, and then like there'll be a big change into the next one. You can kind of save your game if you want to, but it's like a whole big long story. They're cool. Without saying what it was, I found like the third chapter of the Low Memory one like really jarringly different from the rest of it, and it really threw me off on that one. But the Children of Wormwood was good. It almost had weird kind of almost RPG elements where your character that you were playing got certain skills, and it somehow helped you do things. It was weird. It's hard to explain, but worth trying out if you want to try like a longer form thing.
How long were they?
Probably about I think they were saying about like 9 hours to go through the whole thing, but you're only doing them in like 3-hour chunks. I mean,
Okay.
I suppose you could stop midway too if you wanted to within the chapters, but they usually recommend trying to go all the way through them if you can. So
Cool.
I appreciate Seth's comment of I think Ryan is incapable of being angry, even though he was frustrated with the puzzles. He kept it together. Thanks. Seth is yet to get to know me really, really well. I do have a side that doesn't come out on my videos and live streams yet that have not come out.
It's
I
every
wanna see-
time, as soon as we're done with the live streams, he just curses us
Yeah.
out. For
Oh, it's
every little
F bombs
mistake.
left, right, and
yeah,
center,
if
right?
we got in his way at all, he like cusses at us. I don't even know why we
Guys
keep
messed
doing
up this live stream so bad. Could have gone so much better without you.
Right,
Oh,
right.
God.
Like I'm not
Nobody
purposely
believes that.
like I'm not purposely calling out Tim for getting us a little late going because he forgot where we were supposed to, where
Ooh,
we
he's
were
holding a
meeting.
grudge. He's got a grudge going already.
Man, look at that.
I'm never. Sorry, guys. This is my last one. I'm never getting
I
invited
know
back.
he's writing a list of every way we've ever wronged him, and he's gonna get us back in some way for it. You just wait.
Marie says I've got the low memory one, David. Looking forward to playing it soon.
Ooh, I want to hear what you think about it when you're done. I'm curious because it was literally all story thing. Like the third section like threw me way off, and I don't know why. It just did. But I'm curious if it does the same thing to you, or if you're like, no, this was excellent. So definitely get back to me when you play through that because I want to know your thoughts on it. Let's see. But yeah, it's funny because I hadn't really played any of the escape room games for a while. For a long time, they just didn't interest me. And then I got sent those, so I was like, well, okay, I'll try these. And then, sure enough, after like almost, I think very soon after I'd finished the last one, and I was like, man, these are pretty tough. Like, I think I was listening to the Dice Tower, and they're like, oh yeah, never start doing escape room games with the escape tales, and of course that's what I did. So.
No.
I always pick if there's something you should not start with in anything, that is the one I'm going to gravitate to, and I won't know until later that I shouldn't have done that. So,
Like
that's
like
how
when
I
you
work.
like when we pick up games, and they have like this is the introductory recommended like first game setup. Do you guys go with those?
Sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on how basic it seems.
Yeah, I oftentimes will, especially if I'm just like my first game is usually me learning the game two-handed. You know, that's kind of how I learn, and I'll play through half a game. So often I'll try that, and then I can sense out whether it's taken away from the fun by making it too easy, or taking away some of the challenge or whatever.
I have one exit game, and I like took out the rule book to read through it, and then tried to play it with my wife, and immediately she she was like,
Oh,
nah, this isn't for
not her
me.
thing.
Not for us.
Chris and his wife came on a little mini vacation with me and my wife one time, and our kids were there too. But we were getting into games. This was several years back, and I was like, "Oh, I bet you guys would like doing an exit game with us." We bust out an exit game. We're playing about like 15 minutes into it. Chris's wife, just Rachel, she just walks over to the couch and sits down. I was like, "Not enjoying this?" It's like, no,
Very
this
subtle.
is not my thing at all. So
Oh
my
my
wife went
god.
and joined her, and me and Chris ended up solving it. It was like
Oh,
the one set in the frozen tundra, in the alien in it.
Oh.
Hmm.
I don't know him obviously, but that's hilarious.
The exit games
I
have
got
started doing something new where they have now ones that involve jigsaw puzzles, and
oh.
I heard that.
they're really interesting. Though they do increase the time it takes to play them because they do come with 4 jigsaw puzzles, and of course when you have to put together a jigsaw puzzle, there's no diagram. Obviously, you have to put together the jigsaw puzzle by just kind of piecing it together. You don't know what you're actually piecing together until you kind of like start matching some pieces. So a game will usually take now about, instead of like trying to solve it in an hour, you're trying to solve it in like less than like 2.5 to 3 hours because you have to put together these 4 jigsaw puzzles that end up being the thing that you actually have to use to solve certain things. So if you're going to pick up with the ones with the jigsaw puzzles, they do require quite a bit more time investment
Hmm.
than just like the 1 hour at your kitchen table thing.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Which makes sense. If they gave you the diagram of what the puzzle looked like, then they may as well just gave you the diagram to solve the puzzles.
You guys do any of those escape room jigsaw puzzles? Like it's literally a jigsaw puzzle, but as you're putting it together, you are picking up like there are clues or they're like little puzzles that come up in the puzzle that give you
Whoa.
clues
Ooh.
I haven't seen
to
that.
kind of finish it. It was pretty. My wife does jigsaw puzzles regularly, and she picked one of these up, and I sat down and tried to solve it with her. It was pretty fun, pretty interesting.
I'm actually
We have
excited.
cats, so we
Oh.
have to do puzzles that we can finish in a night.
I have a cat too, Riley, but I trained my cat, and maybe if you were better
Whoa.
cat parents.
Well, I've got 3
Wow.
cats. One's
Yeah.
5 months. Whoa, okay.
I'm excited for the exit games because they're going to put into North American distribution for Christmas time. The Advent, they have the Advent calendars
Oh yeah.
for exits. So there's like a series of 25 small puzzles to solve throughout the days. They had one last year, but it was extremely hard to get it in North America unless if you imported it from some of the German board game or even some of the British or English board game stores. You had to import it into here. So I'm excited to hopefully they get one of those. Pick one
I
of those
listened
up.
that sounds fun.
to an episode on Organized Fun where they played through it and recorded it every day, and so it was very spoilery. But it was fascinating hearing some of those. I was like, "Holy cow!" I know they edited it down, but some of those must have taken like an hour just for one day's.
Maurice asked in chat, "Have you tried one of the hunt to killer cases?" And I
Oh, yeah.
think I did. I think it's there was a Nancy Drew themed one which I picked up for Christmas for my wife and daughter because they both like Nancy Drew. They play these Nancy Drew video games together. It's pretty fun, puzzle solving little game. So I
I
picked
want to
one of
try
those up for
those.
them. And I found the Nancy Drew Hunt a Killer game to be pretty weak. It took a couple hours to do. We actually did it when we were on vacation up in southern Utah at Zion National Park.
Yay.
But we were done with the park for the day in our hotel, and so we did it together there. And it was pretty mediocre as far as an escape room game. But I was listening to a podcast recently where they mentioned some of those Hunt a Killer games, not the Nancy Drew one, but some of the other ones were really good. So it might have just been that was supposed to be like an intro version one. Yeah, Zoe, Nancy Drew Hunt a Killer. I did that one. So I didn't find that one as good as most of the kind of escape room games we've done before, but some of them could be really good.
I've been curious. I love like true crime stuff, and I think that could be really interesting. And what little I've played of like I've pretty much only played like the Batman detective game, but I have the other one I want to get into because I love that the general feel of that, like you're trying to piece together all these things to solve the crime. I think that's really fun. So I don't know. I hope some of them are good. I don't know because that's a subscription, isn't it?
Well, I
I
just picked
think
up the
I don't
one from
know.
like Target or Amazon or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that, so they might have a subscription.
Yeah, I think I
Ms.
deliver
from
those from
Meeple
time to
said,
time.
Ms. from Meeple said, I want to hear more about Zion National Park. Have any of you guys been to Zion?
I don't know.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm in
we're in
Utah. So
Utah. Yeah.
I go.
I only went to
I've
Utah
been
once, and I was like 8 or something. So I don't know.
You
I
were
don't know
like,
where we
that's
went.
enough for me.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Well, my perspective of it is an absolute beautiful drive through the park, but it's one of the smaller national parks I've been to, and so it's kind of neat because you can do it in a day or two, kind of explore it. But there's some really cool hikes there too. So I think it's a solid. I think it's a solid park. It's beautiful, just beautiful rocks, trees. The drive in, we came in from, I want to say, kind of the northeast side, and then you kind of drive in and you're going through a lot of tunnels. There's like a 10-mile tunnel that you go through in the middle of a mountain as you're driving through, so that's a little scary. But you're driving down these, switchbacks down a mountain, but just absolutely beautiful scenery. Um, and then right outside of Zion, on the, I might have my directions wrong, but I think this was kind of on the southwest side, is this little tiny town that has a 600 residents in it, beautiful little boutique restaurants and hotels. It's kind of where everybody stays when you're going into Zion. And just a adorable little town. It was great. The one thing that I found was interesting about that city, but I think this is a Utah thing. Riley, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't buy wine at like
Yeah.
gas stations and grocery stores and stuff like that. And that's like not normal at all to us because like wine is like our nightly, like let's run over to CVS and get a bottle of wine tonight, right? So like my wife was like, "Hey, can you run out and get me a bottle of wine?" I'm like, "Yeah, the grocery store is still open." So I walk over there, and they looked at me like I was like an alien. I was like, "Hey, do you have any wine?" Because like I walked around the store like 3 times trying to find wine. I was like, "Do you have any wine?" And they're like, "No, maybe try the liquor store that's like 4 miles up the road there." I went up
Yeah.
there. It was 8:30 at night, and it was closed already at 8:30. So got no wine that night. Um,
Utah has the weirdest laws. I mean, because like at liquor stores, you can't. We needed a corkscrew, and they didn't have one for sale there because they have to strictly sell only liquor. They're not allowed to sell anything else.
Interesting.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's like you have to, and even mixing, like mixers. You can't have mixers at the liquor store. You have to go to a grocery store to buy those. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Weird.
I don't know. Maybe that's normal in other places, but
I mean, I was in yeah, I think any red states. I was in sorry, I was in where was it? Louisville, Kentucky. My this was like 20 years ago, and me and my girlfriend at the time went down to visit some friends. And I was like, "Hey, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna stop and pick up a bottle of wine for this visit." And I went to a local liquor store, and they're like, "No, we can't serve wine. The most you can get is 1 6-pack of beer. You have to get it through the drive-through. You can't walk into the liquor store." So they had like very restrictive rules in Kentucky
Hmm.
about buying alcohol on a Sunday because it was a Sunday. That's the only reason, because it was a Sunday.
yeah,
Weird.
it is really weird.
So Riley, I got to ask you this because one of the very few things I remember from going to Utah, and I've told other people who lived in Utah this, and they say that they've never heard of this before. And I'm wondering if my parents just made up stuff. I don't know, but they said that they even had trouble getting, like, we'd go to a restaurant for breakfast, and they had trouble getting coffee even because it's heavily Mormon and Mormons don't drink coffee. They said like a lot of places just didn't even have coffee, and that blew their mind. And I didn't drink coffee because I was 8 or whatever. But every other person from Utah I said that to, they're like, I've never heard of that. We can always get coffee. I'm like, "Hey, I don't know. Is that
No,
like
I
maybe an
mean,
ancient thing from back in the days when I was a
yeah,
child and we rode
when I
dinosaurs?
was a kid growing up, and granted, nobody in my family, I grew up Mormon, so nobody in my family drank coffee. But I do remember, like, coffee wasn't at a lot of local restaurants. And even still, I'll
Okay.
go to some local restaurants and we'll be looking through and it's like, oh, they don't have coffee. If they're like family owned,
Yeah.
ma and pa type places. And it throws us off now.
Seth in
weird.
chat said, I remember being in Pittsburgh and the grocery stores didn't carry any beer. I thought that was so weird. Same thing in New Jersey. I was in New Jersey and I was like, I'm just gonna go pick up some beer at the grocery store. And no, you got to go to a liquor store, a dedicated liquor store for it. Um, and it's so weird because everything is legal in New Jersey. So I don't know how that law
I know.
came to be.
Up until a few years ago, up here in Washington, like you could buy beer and wine in stores, but you couldn't buy hard liquor. And I think I don't remember. It's been a number of years since they changed it, but that was kind of weird to me too
Yeah.
because I hadn't seen that before. But
Yeah, see, Seth lives in Illinois, which is where I grew up, and then I lived in California, and now I live in Arizona, and all these places, it's like you go to the grocery store and you just get everything. You get food, you get liquor, you get alcohol, you can get anything you need to at
right.
the Walgreens or whatever. So it's interesting to go to states where there's just completely unethical, restrictive alcohol laws.
So what you guys need to do is you actually just need to move to Canada because I think we're just like drunk all the time.
Nice.
You can buy beer, liquor, at like pretty much anything, anywhere.
You go to the candy store, you can buy some liquor. You go to the shoe store, you can buy some liquor.
It's pretty much the vending machines are just in the mall and stuff like that, and
Oh my God.
oh, I wish I was kidding too, but it's really quite open. You can it does seem like you literally can buy it like anywhere here.
I'd be there tonight, but it's too fucking cold there. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's too
I
cold.
I have to hit the 18 plus button.
Sorry about
Man.
that.
Hmm.
I'll try to remember. I'll try to remember in
obviously.
post production. One.
Sorry, children. Sorry.
Sorry. Anybody that's one. what
This
was
is
that?
why we can't take you to nice places, Tim.
I'm
That
so
a word.
embarrassed.
Tis all good. Saul Goodman. Right, Riley?
It's all
Saul
good,
Goodman.
man. Yeah.
That says I
Aren't you-
discovered tonight that I'm Mexican Canadian.
Nice.
Yes, Zoe. That was a bad word.
Great. Well, Zoe's gonna leave the chat now. So way to go, Tim. Thanks.
I'm surprised that's our first one. I think
That's the
Even-
first one. Three recordings in, and that's the first one.
Yeah.
It's so strange. I'm so good at this usually too because like I have a kid. I never swear on I have a professional job. I never swear at work. I never swear on our podcast. It never comes up. So sorry. I crossed went into the other world there today.
I totally apologize to everybody too. It was asking me to exile a card, and I did not realize that it was prompting me to exile a card. So I was just
No
sitting
worries.
there forever.
Maurice, my man got too uncomfortable or too comfortable. Yeah. So when you're, I guess, a little behind the scenes here, but when you're playing a game with the, board game hot takes crew, how much cursing is happening?
A lot. There's a lot.
Is it-
Our
is it the
game of
pl- I
Barrage
don't know that
last
you're playing
week.
Barrage.
There was a lot of cursing last week.
I was trying to
could see
picture that scene, listen to your podcast. I just pictured you like flinging drinks off the table, and like, I don't know how tense it got, but it sounded kind of scary. And I was trying to picture you like in this rage,
He had to
breaking
go,
things.
he went and bought a new computer monitor afterwards because it probably had a
Oh
couple.
wow, yep. That's what happened.
That game was so I gotta say about if you listen to that episode, I really did not want to play the game. I wasn't interested in it. I read the rules on it, I read about it, and I was like not interested at all. And then we're playing it, and like 2 turns in, I spent all my resources to do something, and then Chris immediately goes up in there and blocks me and stop and like completely messes with my entire plan. And I immediately was just like, I hate this is the worst game. This is the stupidest game I've ever seen. And then like 2 minutes later, I did something clever, and I was like, wow, this game is amazing. So that a whole night was like that. It was like I was like, wow, this game's really cool. And then all of a sudden was like my plans get totally blown away. Oh my God, I don't like games like that. I don't like heavy games where you spend a lot of time to build up something and then someone can just mess with it, right? Or you just make a bad move and your game shot.
Yeah.
But it was a bad first play, as I mentioned on the podcast. But I played it 3 times since on Board Game Arena, and love it. I've rated it a 10 on Board Game Geek now. My 3 co-hosts all bought it since we did that
Wow.
episode, and I'm probably going to. It's amazing. It's such a great game. So it does look heavy. It's not too bad once you get to play it, but it can be a little bit mean. So you got to be aware of that. But what a cool game.
Seth mentions you can't spell
word.
barrage without rage.
Nice. I love that, Seth. That's the best quote. That's the quote of the night.
There we go. Seth's got quote of the night so far. Come on, chat. You gotta step it up now.
It's a good game though. If any of you guys ever want to try it on Board Game Arena, Async or whatever, but don't just go in there and just click and pray because it won't work at all. You gotta understand the rules. There's actually a decent 10-minute teach. I found a 10-minute teach video on YouTube by some guy, and I think it was his first YouTube video, and I think he did like 3 more after that. So he tried it. It was like in the pandemic, and he tried to do this channel, and he did it, and he did a pretty good job with it. And it was like 10 minutes, and I fully understood the game. So worth checking that out.
Interesting. I'm very interested in Barrage. It does seem like exactly the game that I would play. I do love a good, heavy, crunchy Euro where you're trying to squeeze out and the economy's tight and everything like that. Uh-oh.
Oh, what just happened? That was so weird.
It's okay. Tim's already opened the floodgate to swearing, Riley, so...
Hey, Riley.
Well, shooty tooty.
I think I saw what just happened. You've chosen poorly.
Yeah, well, luckily I can undo my turn, so let's see that again.
Oh, okay, yes.
It's being so weird. Like, I'm selecting the thing, and then select space to move from. So I'm clicking there. And then selects one to move to. There we go. Why was that being so weird?
Mm.
Oh, are you gonna make a pet beetle friend?
And then I don't have to pay anything. Perfect. See, what in the world? That was weird. I did almost the exact same thing, but it just wasn't working for me before.
I have no idea how I'm doing compared to the other players. I feel like I'm really, really behind.
Me too. Well, I think I might be right though. You guys, you always say that, and then you're like almost winning. So when I say it, I mean it. I didn't come here to lie.
No, I legitimately like you guys have like assistants, and they're like upgraded, and you got like people have got like multiples of them, and my goodness gracious. I didn't know. I think there was something that I wanted to do, and what was it? Oh yeah, this thing, right there. Yeah, this thing.
I feel like I don't yet know how to be remotely efficient or effective in this game. I'm always like, everything's such a struggle to get anywhere, and meanwhile, I look over there, and you guys are all halfway up the whatchamacallit track, and I'm like, okay, well, never mind. I guess it's not that hard. I'm just making poor choices.
No. Everybody's quiet. No, David, you're doing great.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I would have 100% said you're doing great, David. Except that was
Sure you would have. I know you're always supportive in these games. Always.
My microphone must have cut out or something like that at that time.
That was it. Yep.
Of course.
But yeah, I just have to note that ever since upgrading to this new computing machine, man, nothing is laggy anymore. So I guess if you're interested in streaming and video makings and stuff like that, make sure you have some good hardware and software. Because I'm already noticing a world of difference compared to my old machine. That thing was
awesome.
And it was loud. I don't know if anybody could ever hear it before, but the fan on the computer was always so loud, and I had to put in a whole bunch of noise reduction into the things so that you couldn't pick up the fan on the computer. because it would run like it would run hot. Like I'd have to have like a cooling bed underneath the computer so that it wouldn't run so hot and like
Oh my gosh.
melt everything on the inside.
That's like a brag. I ran so hot I had to get a cooling bed.
Oh God.
Sorry, now
What's everyone been playing lately?
What's that?
What's everyone been playing lately?
Oh man, what have I been playing? I mean, I just came back from vacation. I haven't had a chance to play much since I got back, but tried like several things. We did the Disney Gargoyles game, which was kind of it's like a fun little like intro game for folks. I think it's got some stuff where if you learn that you can probably move on to heavier things, but it's reasonably fun. And we tried Hexplore Valley of the Dead King, which is this big adventure game, which I'm pretty sure is a 1-player game masquerading as a 1 to 4-player game. Like it's really good, but I don't know if it makes sense at more than one person really, because you're all moving like together. Like you can't go in different directions, so you don't have as much agency as an individual. Like you can all talk about where you're going to go, but I don't know if those work as a multiplayer game really or not, but it was fun though.
That
It was
makes
good.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley just took out back-to-back Guardians, by the way, so don't let him
Yes.
pretend
Wow,
like he's not doing
Riley.
Oh, I'm doing fine.
well. Double barrel shotgun over there.
Riley's going for win number 2. Win number 2.
Yeah. Gonna be the first time, 2-time winner. What do we call this? Just do we have a segment for it or what?
I don't know. I just been doing like plays through with.
Nice. First 2-time plays through winner.
I'm not catchy with titles. But I am half decent at graphic design though. I am half decent.
I liked your graphic for this week's episode, and I like that you. So I could have sent you a transparent PNG image for our logo, but it looks like you edited around the circle on that. So all the logos look good. The image for the video look good.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah, you do a great job.
So the online program that I use, it's a free program, and it's called Pixlr, Pixlr, and it does everything that I need it to do without actually having to buy full out Photoshop. Like it can do like the background, like I do the thumbnails where you can like just have like my silhouette or something like that, so you can remove the background out of images, something like that. And yeah, anybody who's interested in creating thumbnails and stuff like that, Pixlr, or even if you just want to do like graphic design and photo editing and stuff like that, Pixlr seems to be a really great free option.
Nice.
Yeah. And what have I been playing lately? I just had a game night with a friend that I haven't had a game night with in a while. We played a few games of Marvel Dice Throne, which is a game that I've been really, really enjoying lately. I played I just played the regular Dice Throne a while ago, and I thought it was just fine. I don't know. I might have been just in a mood or something like that, because I was like, oh, this doesn't seem like I'd rather be playing like, King of Tokyo, or I'd rather be playing, something else. And it didn't really grab me. But all of a sudden, when the Marvel characters came in, and I gave it another shot, and I was like, wow, why was I so sour on this experience the first time? Really, really enjoying what it actually does, and packs a lot of punch in about like a 15 to 20 minute game. Great production value.
The way that the Marvel IP changed your opinion of that game says a lot about why you like Marvel United, and I understand better now.
Well, I'm
is
curious
true.
too. I ended up buying it because I've been hearing it's really good, and I didn't super love Dice Throw. Dice Throw, right? But I got this one at Target the other day, and I'm excited to try it. It looks like, I don't know, The one I tried it at a convention, and maybe that affected my play of it. Was that trying to read the rules, and it was really loud, and there's lots of people around us. I felt self-conscious or whatever. I don't know. I hope it's really good because I bought it. It would suck to buy a crappy game.
I had one play of Dice Throne with Adam, and I thought it was okay, but it didn't blow me away. It felt like it was kind of on the rails a little bit. I'd play it more though.
Yeah.
I didn't get to explore it enough to really have a good opinion of it. I wouldn't like give a hot take of a game or anything. That'd be crazy.
No, you don't do that.
No, you don't want to. Not after
I
one
mean,
play.
it's obviously highly luck dependent, but it's also such a fast game that it's like to me that it balances okay. Where it's if it was a really long game and that lucky, it'd drive me insane. But at that length, it's pretty good. I enjoy the regular one. I haven't played the Marvel one yet, but
You could play like a quick 2 out of 3 type thing. Best
Oh,
2
yeah.
out of 3.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
easy.
and that's what we did that one night, and yeah, you're right, David. It is very luck dependent because I was playing as the Black Widow character, like Black Widow,
Uh,
and she has some really interesting things going on. Except for it was like the game was well over half over before I actually got to finally trigger one of her really cool abilities. And it was like,
Oh.
it's like not even worth it at this point. I need to go for more damage than doing the cool thing, like that. So, but you're right. It's so quick and it's so quick that I can see past that most of the time.
yeah.
You guys aren't gonna believe this, but I forgot to plug my laptop in.
Oh, we did.
Luckily, I have the
Oh
plug.
my gosh.
I even had that. I even wrote that down. I just looked at it right now. They said, "Hey, everybody, let's do tech check." Tim, is your laptop plugged in?
I swear I thought I had it plugged in this time, but it is now. I will not die this time. Good. But got down to 6% again.
Wow.
That's really really funny.
Oops. I'm not very good at this. So I mentioned I've been playing Barrage, and we played Age of Galaxy, the worst named game of all time,
It is
but a
pretty
pretty fun
terrible.
game. Yeah. So we played that Monday night. Otherwise, you know what I've been playing a lot of is Hero Realms. I've been playing. So Chris and I played Star Realms for years on the app. Like we played in person too, but we've just been playing games back and forth, probably 3 games a day for like 3 years now. And then like 2 months ago, he discovered Hero Realms and he invites me to a game. And I'd played Hero Realms in person before, and I didn't like it quite as much. But now we're playing it constantly, and I'm kind of digging it. It's a lot of fun.
What is that one? I'm trying to.
It's
Sounds
just
familiar.
It's Star Realms. Have you played Star Realms, Riley?
Just on the
Yeah.
app.
So it's Star Realms in a fantasy setting instead of a sci-fi setting. It's almost exactly the
Oh,
same,
okay.
but they've slightly. You have asymmetric powers, so like you got an asymmetric starting deck that's slightly different because you can play like the thief or the ranger or the fighter or whatever, the cleric. And then they all have like their own kind of one time per game ability, and one ability that you can use per turn and stuff like that. So it changes it up a little bit. The cards are a little bit more. Almost all the Star Realms cards have like 1 or 2 icons on them, and that's it. These ones have a lot more text on them, so it feels just slightly more complicated, but not really. It's all pretty easy. A lot of the cards are even like a direct port from Star Realms. Like you have many cards that do the exact same things in this game, so it's pretty close.
Do you have a preference between the two, Star Realms and Hero Realms?
Yeah, I think I still would say Star Realms is probably my favorite of the two, just because it's a little bit more streamlined. But it has been really fun, and I don't know if this is only an app thing, but like in the app, you can level up, and as you level up, you can choose kind of a tech path for your character's abilities. So like you start with a basic ability, and then once you get to level 5, then you can like upgrade one of the abilities to be a little bit stronger. But I assume you can't do that. I don't think you can do that in the physical game
So
unless it was like an expansion or something.
So that was introduced. They introduced in Hero Realms, not in Stealth Realms. They have these things called campaign expansions. And it's just a small
Okay.
little box. That's a small little expansion. That's where they introduced that tech tree upgrading
Okay.
of your
Cool.
character. So yeah, and they released. I think they've got 3 of those campaign expansions now.
Yeah, so I would say that's what I like more about Hero Realms, but otherwise, I probably generally prefer Star Realms if it was just like playing a couple of games with somebody quickly. But they're pretty similar.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
Star
played
Realms.
Hero Realms also has an expansion that's like a one versus many expansion where you like one person plays the big bad guy and the other players play cooperatively. I played that one time. That was interesting. Changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, and Star Realms just ran another Kickstarter where they introduced a legacy
Yeah.
aspect to the game.
Yeah, I know Chris back that I was tempted to, but hey, I don't know. I got too many games coming from Kickstarter that I'll probably never get. So
I ended up getting it. I ended up getting it because there was a level where it's like instead of getting like the stickers to put on the thing, they actually will print a physical card for every single possibility of stickering that you could possibly do.
I know,
wow.
and I kind of love that, but at the same time, it basically means you get this whole box of cards for just the potential that you could upgrade them at some point. And it's cool, the idea of being able to play through this campaign multiple times. And I would have done it if my wife likes Star Realms, but there's no way she's gonna play through like multiple campaigns of this game. Like we might get through it one time, but she'd rather just play a one-off. She doesn't like legacy games very much, so I was like, I'll never get this played. It's cool concept though. You know, you just got to pay an extra $50 for like a box of cards that you might use someday.
Yeah, but in
I
Star
don't know what I'm
Realms,
saying. I played
it's
Magic
just
for years,
Star
so-
Realms is a quick enough game that I'm pretty sure I'll end up playing that campaign probably multiple times.
All right, got a
So
big
speaking
plan
of
here.
terrible named games, though, I just got Age of Galaxy, but it looks like coming my way is Legends of Void, which is also not what
Legends of Void.
Legends of Void. Yeah,
You're just
that I
like
don't.
somebody's just like picking like noun of noun, a
Yeah,
noun of
it's not even-
location. Like
It's not even easy to say that one. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
it's pretty bad.
I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope the whole like instruction manual isn't written that way because I'll go insane.
Chat's been quiet for a while. Chat, what have you folks been playing lately? Be interested.
Yeah, I
to
saw
hear.
Seth said Foundations of Rome was fun. Was a fun game to play, but holy Tim's potty mouth. Is it so much plastic shoved in a huge box? I'll never own it. Have you guys played it? I haven't played it, but it looks, I don't know, it doesn't interest me. It looks like too much plastic kind of shoved next to each other, which seems weird for me.
It actually sounds like it could be a decent game, but a pretty light game. So for a $150+ game, it seems like it's a little light. That's what I've heard about it.
That's my problem too. Is like it looks gorgeous. Like I think I'd love to see that on my table, but yeah, everyone's saying it's a super light game, and I don't want to spend that much on a game that's that light. I think that's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Agreed. I can't believe we didn't mention that in our Toy Factor episode, though. We should have probably covered that one.
Oh yeah.
Zoe said I played a bunch of turncoats recently. I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever heard of turncoats.
I don't think
I was trying to think that same thing.
Yeah, that's need to go to BGG and
Sounds like a
that
social
one up.
deduction game to me, a hidden trader game or something like that. That sounds like
could
it's
be.
right up Zoe's alley.
I don't know what Legacy of You is either.
That's the next
Maurice.
Garfield games is
Yeah.
Kickstarter coming out.
Oh,
The solo only game. I'm really excited about that one. I've been digging Garfield's games.
Yeah,
Is it pronounced Garfield or Garpil? I've heard it pronounced both ways. I have no
Yeah, I
idea.
have to.
It's Garpa Hill.
Garpil?
Garpa Hill.
Garpa Hill.
Garpa
Garpa Hill.
Hill.
Clarify
Seize,
that.
seize the Garpa Hill.
Yeah, anyway, I'm excited for Legacy of You. Maurice said I played Carcassonne recently for the first time. Now, I played Carcassonne about 20 years ago once, and then I got back and played it on BGA a few times recently, and I really liked it. I played it with Seth, I played it with Chris. It's actually a really good game. I can't believe how well it held up for me. So I'm actually kind of digging Carcassonne a bit. It's good.
Yeah, that's
I
one.
played it on
Zoe said
BGA
Garfield.
once, and I added it to my list of games.
I'm a
I think I
proud
played it on
owner
Xbox
of
Live.
I'm a proud owner of everything of the old edition Carcassonne.
You're proud of that, Ryan?
I'm proud of
You
the
want the
old
new edition?
I'm proud of my old edition artwork and everything that fits inside of one single. It's a tight squeeze, but I got everything squeezed into one box. But don't ask us to actually easily try to find all of the stuff. I need little paper dividers that I need to make, but everything is squeezed in. We've shuffled every single expansion, all the tiles together, and I don't have any time to actually go and sort through all the tiles at this stage.
I guess with the expansions on that, do you play with everything in the box, or is it kind of like modular where you're picking and choosing certain things to add in?
You can just pick and choose sets to like shuffle into the base game if you want, and or you can just like what my wife and I call it. We just call it Epic our Carcassonne, where we just literally play with everything, and then when a tile comes out, we have like we need the rule book for the, and then we have to look at like a little icon like what does this tile do again?
No, but doesn't that game play like the game ends when you're out of tiles, right? So do you just shuffle out a certain amount of tiles for the game, or do you just play with the whole thing and play?
Oh gosh, we when we play everything. So everything, like the entire.
You just keep playing until that's funny.
Like our entire 3 foot by 5 foot table is like completely covered. So we either play till we play until we run out of tiles, or we cannot physically put a tile onto the table anymore.
Seth says, "I love classic awesomeness." I got a funny story about playing Carcassonne with Seth for the first time, because he was like, hit me up on Twitter and he's like, "Hey, I want to try Board Game Arena." I was like, "Absolutely, I'll invite you to a game. You can see if you like it." And I was like, "I'll play an async game with you," but I don't think he knew what async meant. So he's like, "Invite me and my friend." So I invited him and his friend to an async game. We're taking turns back and forth, and I was like, "Oh, I got to run to the store and do an errand." And like 25 minutes later, I come back and the chat's filled with like, "Where the heck did Tim go? What's going on here? Can we just play without him?" Like, they had no idea that I was going to leave.
Oh, no.
I felt so bad that they sat there and waited for me to finish playing the game. He's never invited me to a BGA game again. So
that's actually really, really
That's
funny.
the beauty of BGA, though, right? Is that you are able to do that.
Yeah,
But if you know you can.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you're sitting there and hoping to play a game with somebody, you don't want them to walk away.
Gosh.
I do get frustrated. Like, I'll be playing an async game with Chris and Adam, and usually it's like 10 o'clock on, at any given night, they start taking their turns. And it's awesome. I was like, okay, now we can sit here and I'll just play through our turns, and then somebody will just decide to leave. And so, like, you're sitting there all into the game, excited to play it, and then all of a sudden someone just departs at, like, 10:45. Oh, man, I got to wait till tomorrow to finish that turn I just had planned.
I have that same thing when playing with somebody, and all of a sudden it's noon and it's lunchtime for them, and so we're rolling, and then their lunch is over. Yeah. Like, we were like flowing there. That was great.
Maurice mentioned looking forward to playing Gears of War with my game group. Got super lucky and found it for a good deal. Maurice, you and I are one and the same, because I also found. Is it behind me here? Is it on the top shelf? Nope, I moved it somewhere. I must be. But I also found a copy of Gears of War for an insanely good deal on a Board Game Geek auction, actually, is where I found mine. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying to get that one to the table. Really huge fan of the video game series.
I'm
What
really
kind of gameplay
curious
is it?
about
Is it like
that
a dungeon crawler or what?
Yeah, it's kind of like a dungeon crawly-esque thing where you're kind of going through missions and scenarios and beating people up and stuff like that. And we've lost Tim for a second, but must have just stepped away for a second.
Yeah. Actually,
He's going
step
to the
away for like half a
bathroom.
second too. I'll be right back.
Oh.
I'm not leaving I'm not
Me
leaving as
too.
severely as Tim has.
I need to go to the store real quick, so
What's going on?
while they're away.
Now I feel like we need some like intermission. We need like intermission music or something like that.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
No, I just feel like I think there's that song by The Offspring on their one album, X-Nay on the Ombre. It's actually just literally intermission. It's like do 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 do. It's like halfway through the album, and Maurice is saying these guys.
It's way better without Tim and David, right?
Wow, harsh. I'm back already.
Oh,
Now I can
shoot.
hear you. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I said
Awkward.
nothing.
Awkward. Oh my God. I had to get I'm doing the YouTube on my phone, not using the Wi-Fi because I'm trying to preserve bandwidth because I was having all those troubles. So, but my phone was getting close to death, so I had to go and grab
Oh
the
gosh.
charger over there real quick. So it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but I wouldn't have known when anyone was chatting at us. So
I'll try to find a way that I can share the chat with you folks that you don't actually have to watch on the YouTube at the same time. But hey, if you're watching on YouTube at the same time, that's views.
that's right.
Yes.
The all important views.
Oh yes.
It shows that there's like 30 of us on there. We each logged in with all of our accounts, right?
That's exactly how it's supposed to work.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
And it turns out that Maurice and Seth and Zoe aren't really here. It's just our fake accounts. We just type in randomly to make ourselves feel good.
That's how I get my numbers up on the podcast. I just listen to the podcast repeatedly for a whole week long. That's great.
That's fair. Thanks for joining us, Seth.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, Seth says he's got to be up in 5 hours. Holy, that's commitment, Seth. Thank you very much for coming on by. Have a great night.
Seeing you, buddy.
Appreciate you being here.
Yep.
And,
Maurice, you missed the conversation about Underfalling Skies. They
We
probably
had
talked about it for
a
like
whole conversation on it
5-10
right
minutes.
before you joined in. That's funny.
that's actually really funny. Maurice, stay tuned in September. I'm going to be doing one of these live streams. I'm going to play Underfalling Skies on here. Do maybe a couple missions of the solo campaign, and I guess it's a solo only game anyway, so I'll just play a couple missions of the campaign.
Maurice, have you played Underfallen Skies?
Yes.
Maurice is a regular solo gamer, I think. I've seen him chat
Yeah, I
about that
think-
a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was
That's
on
kind
your
of his
show, wasn't he,
biggest
Riley?
thing.
I heard that. I heard
Yeah.
his conversation on your show. I believe he was talking about solo gaming a bit there.
Yeah. So you know he's not an all Marvel.
I know. I'm just
video,
kidding him,
yeah.
Of course, I'm kidding him. I love Riley's show because it's like every week. I don't know who this week. I just got to listen to Riley talk about some games he played. I think that was this week, but it's just fun. Like every Friday, Riley, I'm always surprised. You never market it or anything like that. Just Friday morning's episode pops up. I'm just like, oh, who am I gonna listen? Who am I gonna meet this week? It's always cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. It is great.
I don't know if I would benefit from being like, hey, this Friday it's so and so, but
It
I don't
depends
know.
on
You-
who's
I don't
on
know
it.
either.
If it's me, you'll literally lose subscribers. But if you have like a big designer, you might get some people.
That's
checking in,
not
so.
true.
Yeah, they won't check in even if you have a big designer. It's true.
Oh my god, you guys, I messed up so bad. I've chosen poorly.
Excellent.
I built up 6 compasses so I could go up to one of the top spaces, and I forgot to leave myself 2 movement icons to do it.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh well, it's life.
That's what all the people say.
It's a hard knock life.
For me. Now I got to pivot. I had a whole plan, and now I got to pivot. What am I gonna do?
Maurice
I feel like
hasn't-
every time I'm getting ready to do something, someone else does it first and shuts me down.
I spent that whole turn just trying to build up to. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that.
To the level 2 reveal.
So bad.
This is the problem
What a
also of
fool.
carrying conversations and playing a game at the same time.
For sure.
Is that
It
sometimes
for sure is.
our attentions are getting split, and I'm blaming because I've got the extra end where I'm managing the chat and the stream overlay, make sure all the numbers are all good and everything like that. So I've got a lot more work to do, and I'm just playing a game in the background.
Nice.
Ship
I got-
shape. Makes sense.
I got lucky. My pet snake Reggie just came up, and I can actually defeat him without having to get any more resources.
Oh.
Sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
No, that's Jacques from the first scene in Indiana Jones never came back in the series again. What happened to Jacques? I would like to know more about the Jacques character.
Sounds like a
pilots
great
the snake.
spin-off series.
Exactly. Come on.
Maurice
Got
is
Sala
asking
back
us.
a bunch of times. Never got.
Maurice is asking us, what was that board game that got you all into the hobby?
Oh.
Magic the Gathering for me. I mean, it's not really a board game, but it kind of is, and that definitely got me hooked on gaming. And yeah, for sure.
For me, it was if we're talking like actual like hobby board games, it was Shadows over Camelot. I thought that there were not actually good board games until I got randomly pulled into a game of that, and it blew my mind. Like just the whole trader thing, and this lady who is like so sweet and nice came in at the very end and did something that screwed us all over, and I'll never forget that. So that's what I was like, oh my god, there's magic in these boxes. I have to get some of these right now. That's
That's
amazing.
cool. That's an interesting one because there's actually like maybe not a hidden trader. You don't know. And so it
Yeah.
kind of
Well, we had I don't remember how many people were playing, but we had a pretty full complement of people. So I'm guessing maybe the chances went up. I don't
okay.
remember I can't remember how it distributes it, but either way, there were people I suspected, but she was not even close to being on the list of them. So it was awesome. It was amazing.
Nice. So my favorite hidden trader experience, I think, has to be Battlestar Galactica. Played the original game like 7 years ago. When the series was still running, and what a cool experience. I don't know if I'd be into it these days. I think it's Fantasy Flight does long and clunky in a way that I'm not a big fan of, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
I have a great Shadows over Camelot story because I was playing a game with my friend Ian, and we were playing with a group of people, and I just remember Ian said something around like he was playing a card, and he says, "I'm playing a something or other." And then when I actually got to resolve whatever action was going on, and I said, "Wait a minute," he said at this point he said that he played this, and the card was different. I was like, "Oh, he's obviously the traitor and everything like that." And as I started accusing him, he convinced the entire table that Ryan just can't read. And wasn't paying attention, or he couldn't read. That's actually bullhooey, and that that sounds like traitor talk and stuff like that. So they all accused me of being the traitor. He'd worked his magic somehow. I was like, no. So then I actually had the reveal that I was not the traitor, and we like ended up losing the game as a result of it, and all because he could convince everybody that I can't read. I'm like, I can read. I know exactly what was on those cards, and I remember what you said.
That's
and
amazing.
But Ian worked his magic, and
In all fairness, Ryan, it's not a hard case to make with you.
well, I'm having a hard time seeing, like with these new glasses, I'm having a hard time seeing this board. all zoomed out and whatnot, and
Guys, Ryan's the traitor. You can tell right now.
Yeah.
Listen, and make an excuse about his glasses. Can't see the board. He's a traitor.
Oh, I never answered. What was the board game that got me into the hobby? I mean, I at like a game night, I played things like Ticket to Ride and Catan, but then eventually I bought Marvel. Got me rolling into it.
Wait, you cut out for a second, Riley. What was it? Which Marvel game?
Marvel Legendary.
Oh, okay.
he was afraid that
And
you
that-
said Marvel United again.
Oh my God, I was gonna be like, "There's no way that made." Yeah.
No, he went with the.
No
he got
wonder.
sucked in by the best Marvel game. So
Well, so Marvel Legendary, at least it did some interesting things with deck building, which was fairly new by the time it came out. It hadn't been done too much, and it's cool. Legendary is cool. It's a cool game.
I wish
you
I haven't played
mispronounced
any
the
of the
best.
encounters, but I hear the Legendary encounters.
I want to try the Alien Encounters one.
I do.
Yeah,
too.
me
That's
too.
one.
Maurice says Marvel Legendary.
Yeah, Maurice is going boo on
Yeah.
Legendary.
I mean, not everyone has taste. It's okay. I mean, we know, Maurice. We feel bad for you. You don't have to ask for sympathy like that.
I definitely ditched Marvel Legendary. I still own Legendary and quite a few expansions, but I stopped buying expansions. I think I've played it once since Champions came.
Okay.
I understand when you spend a lot of time eating filet mignon. Sometimes you just want to go to a burger, and that's fine. But I'm gonna stick with the filet mignon. That's fine. You know, do whatever you
Okay,
want.
it's been a while since we actually talked anything Lost Ruins of Arnak, and I think I've found a thing that I've been playing. That I think I found a situation where I think I've been playing the game wrong physically for a while. I have a dude.
Oh no!
I have a dude at this location underneath this guardian. Can I not defeat that guardian?
No, you should be. Which what color are you? You're.
I'm red.
Yellow. You're red.
Great. Oh,
Yeah, you can if you have it. You have to have an airplane and an arrowhead.
and I have both of those. So
So click on it, and then you need to go and select your.
okay. Oh, it says I need to pay my. Okay, I need to pay my travel. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Perfect. I
You've
have
been
been
doing it
playing this.
right.
I have been playing
You're
this
good.
game right all along. It.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
I thought it was
definitely
I
the
thought it
hidden
was
traitor.
asking me
pretending
to.
not know what's going on.
I thought
A
it was
little
asking me to
BGA
send another
confusion.
worker. I thought it was asking me to send another worker there, and I said, "No, wait a minute. No, that's not right."
Hold up,
Perfect.
wait a minute.
Okay, so we can go back to not talking about Lost Ruins of Arnak
Excellent.
again.
Well, so I actually did have a question about the game we're playing. What do you think they would add in another one? We were talking about, it feels like there's definitely going to be.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of already set themselves up for the more stuff things, right? You can do more relics, you can do more artifacts, you can do more locations, guardians, and then new tracks. But yeah, it's a great question. There's definitely an opportunity for like an add-on board somewhere, like the benefits moving up the guardian track would give you some like bump up another board, something like that. Maybe some cards that did that as well. That'd be a pretty traditional expansion material.
Yeah.
I don't believe Cthulhu's in the game yet. So
Yeah, there you go.
that's gotta be right around the
Gotta
corner.
get Cthulhu in the game.
And how about pick up and deliver? Well, I guess we're already kind
Oh,
of
there
doing
we
that.
go. Yeah.
A map board out there.
It adds a
something like that.
museum so that you take things from.
You got to put the relics in the museum and you get bonuses for what you cover up. That's great. There you go.
And you get even more bonuses if you say, it belongs in a museum.
So do you.
Maurice has got great taste. He's agreeing with us that more boards and more cards are definitely the way to go.
I mean, with the current expansion though, there's a lot of variety in here, and I mean, I think it needed it after like 20 plays, but and I wouldn't say no to more, but like you will rarely see. You would have to play several games now to see some repeat cards, and like the same guardians
Yeah.
and things like that. It's pretty cool how much variety is in here. But I would love to
It's
see
true.
more tracks. I love what the expansion tracks are cool. Like they added some really cool new mechanisms in the expansion tracks that I like a lot. And then they could add new characters now too. They could add new
Yeah.
asymmetric characters to play. So that would be an easy thing. Add like 4 new characters and like 2 new expansion tracks, and you got a nice little expansion there.
I know that you would hate this, Tim, but I think the rest of us would love a co-op option.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
what are you doing to me?
absolutely.
Well, that's the way to go. Now you want to revitalize the game again, bring some attention to it. You get the co-op mode.
Yeah.
Like they already
I
have
do like-
they already have like a solo mode. So how much more do they have to actually put in to actually make it like a
Yeah.
co-op type game?
Yeah, I've also wondered about that. I'm sure that there's a brew on BGG for a co-op game of it using
probably
just
is.
the Automa.
And then you realize, why would anyone do that and ruin a perfectly good competitive game?
Has anybody done that? Has anybody actually tried any like the homebrew, like if a game that is not solo, but somebody's made like a fan made solo mode or a fan made?
I've done some fan made solo modes. Some of them have been solid too. Yeah, I did Near and Far, which is a game that I like a lot, and they didn't have a solo mode, so I did that one. That was pretty good. Lords of Waterdeep, I tried an interesting solo mode on that one a while back.
Oh, that would be
But so many games
With-
now, I almost don't buy games that don't have solo modes because it's kind of one of the
Yeah.
things I'm looking for. So I haven't had to look for one for a while. But back when I was first getting into the hobby, and I was like, I want to be playing a game, and we're not getting together till Wednesday, so I'd find something to play a game with.
with Near and Far. Have you played with the Amber Mines expansion?
Yeah, I love it. I would not play without it. So
Yeah,
I like Near and Far a lot, but I didn't like there was one action you could take in there, at least in a 2-player game, that just was like the only smart thing to do if you wanted to play the game. And it was the least fun action that was going to the mine. And
Yes.
the Amber Mines expansion totally fixed that. And then it added the magic and it added more variety and stuff like that. So I love that expansion. I think it's one of the most critical expansions you can get for a game.
I agree. I think, and we were talking about 2020 Jagged Earth for Spirit Island. I think another critical, but with their introduction of solo in Amber Mines, would you rather play the BGG solo or the
Well,
written solo?
but see, they didn't actually add a solo, they added a co-op mode, right? And no, I didn't end up trying. I probably should try it, but I had heard that it wasn't that challenging, but I didn't try it.
Okay.
So, but I actually what I got is whoever created the solo mode for it had actually put it up on there's this like print and play site where you can get like actual physical components printed for games.
Oh,
I forget what
cool.
it's called. Game Crafter, I
Like
think.
Game Crafter?
And so
Yeah.
they put it up there. So I paid like 18 bucks and got like nice updated components of this solo mode. And it feels like an official solo mode. It's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Maurice
All
likes
right.
it. Maurice likes it when there's a solo variant, to allowing you to learn the mechanics without needing people at the table. That's a very good point. That's a great way to learn the game. I usually end up having to do like two-handed, something like that. Just lay out all the components, play the game through as split personality disorder or something like that going on at the table. Physically get up out of my chair, move to a different chair, sit down and play as a different person.
Oh my
You
gosh,
tend
I
to like
messed
that
up.
when a solo mode, changes the game as little as possible. I think some games start to add in a whole lot of stuff to alter it, which is fine. But like I want to be as close to the regular multiplayer experience as I can when I do a solo game.
Hmm.
And so I'm always happy to see like if the game doesn't make me do a lot of crazy stuff, that's amazing. That's how I want it to be.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you can't get the same. It's like it's a trade-off. Like some solo modes are simple, but then they don't really give you the experience of playing the game. And then some solo modes give you like an opponent to play against, but they're too complex to. They take
Right.
all the fun out of it. So it's an interesting balance when you can get a game that does that well.
Mm-hmm.
I totally messed up. I could have defeated that guardian, and I got caught up in going up the track, and I went up the track and spent my last arrowhead. Now I got to take a fear. Darn it.
Yeah, I got distracted there too. And messed up my plan. That's okay. I don't have to take a.
Maurice is saying Everdell is one of my favorite ones. The new Libertalia does a good job as well. I'm assuming he's still talking about solos.
Yeah, yeah, Everdell is great, and I played a lot of that solo mode for a long time. Now I was a playtester on the new solo. There's a new solo expansion that's coming out. It should be delivered sometime later this year or early next year from Kickstarter, called is it called Mistwood? I think it's called Mistwood. And it does add a slight bit of complexity, but really makes you feel like you're playing against an opponent in there. And I think it's worth it in that case. But it does add a little bit more maintenance than the current Everdell solo mode. So I think it's worth trying, but you might still prefer the original on that one. Libertalia, I have not played the solo on that one yet, believe it or not. I've played it 2-player and I've played it multiple other player accounts. I've got to try that one solo. It's a fun game. Libertalia Winds of Galecrest is a really fun game.
Yeah, I've been interested in it, but my wife, like, I've heard like the 2-player version or the 2-player experience isn't as like, optimal. And I heard like that just kind of like adding in that person that competes with you for like the majority or something. I can't remember exactly how it's described. I'm intrigued in it, but it would never see the light of day at our table, most likely.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I played it with my wife once, and we had a good time playing it, just the 2-player mode. So, but only played it once. I mean, the game it's very fun, and there are strategic choices to make, but there's plenty of luck anyway. So playing 2-player versus more than that is not that drastically of a different change. It's a little bit about the luck of what happens, and it's a fun light game. I like introducing new players to it. It's always been a hit for like 3, 4, 5 players, couple new people at the table. Everyone can get in and have fun with it.
Might be when there's a board game cafe here in Saskatoon now, and they have now opened it up that you can rent games for the week. Might be something if I have to check out to see if they have it in their library. You might have to be able to actually try and rent. I have never rented a board game before, so.
What do they charge you for a week rental?
I have to look that up because I haven't tried it out. I just know that they just announced not too long ago that they are allowing you to rent out of their. They have a section where you
The
can just
library.
pull. Yeah, they're just a
Yeah.
regular library.
It's not a bad idea, to be honest. I mean, you got all these games sitting there that people are going to use occasionally. Why not, charge $5 for the week to use it for,
Mm-hmm.
if I was a game cafe, I think it's a pretty smart move.
I've literally thought about that with my large collection behind me. I'm like, I'll just open up just a little, just a little doorstop thing and said, put my here's my BGG account. Here's what I have available. You want to
Yeah.
rent? But then I don't want to have to like go through physically checking to see if all the components
Yeah.
got returned.
Right, that's the risk because
That's what I was
because human
wondering.
beings are jerks, and you can't trust them.
Horrible,
So
horrible people.
unfortunately, yeah, especially
On our
gamers.
trip to Portland, we went to
Wow.
a board game cafe there, and we picked up Takedo. I've never played it before, so I definitely needed the rule book, and started setting up the game. And a lot of it made sense, right? They had pictures of what went where, and so I just started doing that, and then looked around, and the rule book was nowhere. So somebody had taken the rule book.
Oh,
I'm sure it
no.
was just like misplaced or something, but.
Maybe.
Or
Yeah,
somebody had taken it. I don't know. So then we cleaned it all up and we grabbed it.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
you have like libraries that have games in it. I see pictures of places that have them, and I have never had that luck where you could go to a public library and get a good board game.
I haven't either. I know they do exist some places, but I haven't. None of my local libraries have. Speaking of, libraries are like honestly one of my favorite places on the planet. Like I can go into a library and just it's so peaceful. I rarely even read physical books anymore because I read on like on my Amazon Kindle or whatever. The Amazon Kindle app. Nobody owns an Amazon Kindle, but I read on like my iPad. But I just love going into a library. There's something about just browsing the books and reading all like the librarian's recommendations and reading the author section and stuff like that. Man, I can just sit in a library and browse around and just love it.
Oh, the ostrich just came out. That's one of my favorite.
It's fun. I like the ostrich too.
Wait a minute.
That
Is
and
this
the
first?
donkey.
I like all the steeds, all the ones that throw a card at you. The horse and the donkey and the ostrich are all great
Yeah.
cards. I guess I like all the animals. The animals in the Swiss Army knife. Those are my favorites. Actually, it just says Army knife. I guess this isn't a Swiss Army knife. This must be like the Dutch Army knife, maybe.
But yeah,
Maybe it's actually from Swiss and they're like, yeah, it's just an army knife here.
Yeah. Good point. Oh, Ryan, you're the last one going. You must be
Oh,
strong
huge
this
turn.
round.
Turns for days. Turns for days. I just passed too.
I mean,
Everyone else may select cards.
there we go. Nice. I mean, somebody had a card left in their hand.
Final round. Oh, okay.
Never a smart move in this game, but
Ugh. Oh my goodness. Back to me. Oh gosh. Is this the last round?
it is.
This is last
Yes.
round. Dang. Dang. I don't even know what to do. Oh, right. Tap and something. Something and something. Let's go with you and grab that.
Oh,
I
man,
like the
Ryan's-
idea that in Indiana Jones 5, they'll be riding ostriches.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, after the last one, I wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, I'm picking up that ostrich, putting it right into my hand. Nice.
Ooh, all right.
But like the aliens are coming back, right?
oh, geez.
They better.
I did not even have a problem with the alien, storyline. Like, I thought the Area 51 idea was great. It just wasn't well executed. I thought the having Russian soldiers instead of Nazis based on the time frame was great. It just wasn't well executed. But it's like there was supernatural stuff in all the movies, so why not aliens? I think that's totally fine. It's just like the whole thing was just such a clunky mess.
It was.
I just
That's
don't,
a
I don't
fair
remember
assessment.
anything about it. It's so not memorable to me. I don't.
I feel like I
there are
remember
things
a
in that
fire ants See,
Yeah, there were
was
big,
that
huge monster ants in it. Yep. There was actually a lot of decent scenes. It was just that they were so poorly made, and the acting wasn't great, the direction wasn't great. It was a mess. And then you've got the nuking the fridge
Oh
scenario.
my goodness, yeah, that's right.
I
I
mean, that
had
shouldn't work, but it
forgotten
works
about
as well as hiding under your desk at school, which is what they always like. Really? I don't think it's gonna do anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Ugh, excusez-moi.
We're
Oh,
boring
don't
Ryan over here.
don't speak of school too, because I start back to work next week.
Ooh, good luck.
Yay!
Wow.
Summer
You got
flew
off
by.
later than my wife and are going back sooner.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's all our teacher. It's all our teacher like prep days before the students come, which I absolutely just can't stand. It just literally can't stand these days. If my principal's watching, I love them, but I can't stand them.
Ryan, don't worry, nobody's watching. You're fine.
Wow.
You're safe.
Well, no. The three people are watching, and it probably David, Tim, and Riley. I'm pretty sure I got three
Yeah,
people
yeah.
at least, maybe watching, or conserving
my
bandwidth. If they're not watching, you're conserving your bandwidth and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do here. This one. This is the
Same.
one I need here.
Maurice, you're the only person in chat tonight that I haven't played a game with yet, I think. We got to get a game in sometime. We played everybody else that we've chatted with tonight.
He says Tim is cold, and Zoe said savage.
I was just about to say, wait, you played a game with Zoe?
I did. Yeah, remember on your show?
With me.
Yeah.
We
Yep, you were
literally
there.
played her game.
You were there. You were
I
there.
spent hours and hours and hours of editing.
Actually, I think we're gonna
That
try
was
to arrange Maurice to come on the show and play some Marvel Champions with Riley. I think at some point.
Yeah.
I think that'd be.
I'm really
that'd be a lot of
excited
fun.
about that.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think I've got it figured out to capture your video, your face-to-face video, and your actual gameplay video as well.
I
think
know
I've got
that's
it
the
figured out.
tricky part, right?
It worked wonderful with Zoom, and then they decided you can't use this for free anymore. Marisa
said
says
not
we are
legendary.
not playing Legendary.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really deserve it. So I mean, that's fine. You know,
Oh,
you can play that Lester game. That's cool. I mean, you're a good guy. You're not at that level yet. But when you are, Legendary will be there for you, buddy. Don't worry. Fine.
Legendary will always. Is that what the quote is? Legendary will always be there.
Yeah. Yep. But you have to earn it. You don't just get to have it like you can with champions. Anyone can have champions.
I got a feeling that they both almost have the same amount of expansions at this point. No,
Maybe, 'cause the champions
Legendary,
all little ones.
Legendary's got quite a few.
Yeah. But Legendary
Right.
has more heroes and villains and fun and quality. So it's, Champions is a great game. I can't say here and actually insult Champions. I really can't. It's fantastic. It is. Just Legendary is, better. So
I haven't played Champions yet, and I'm tempted to, but I don't want to go down the rabbit hole that you all have, which is like buying every single expansion. And I assume that some of the expansions are now like out of print, right? So I probably couldn't even get some of them because I
I
didn't
think
start
they're all
No.
out.
Are they all
They're
available?
all out.
Yeah, they've been keeping them around and in print. I know
Nice.
Amazing Stories. Whenever they run out of some, they can always just bring in another, dozen or something like that. And
Yeah,
Well,
the Legendary expansions sometimes go out of print because people buy those. So they have trouble keeping them on the shelf, but you could always get the champion stuff sitting around somewhere. In
no, but what it
That's
is that Marvel Champions, they can afford to keep on just reprinting.
Oh, is that-
Whereas Legendary, they're like, oh, it's so far and few between when we have to do a reprint.
Well,
does it ever
Champ-
bother you, David? David, does it ever bother you that when you're buying your cards from the card room in Champions, like you can buy Wolverine, and then you can buy Wolverine again, and then you can buy another Wolverine, and then you've got like 5 Wolverines in your deck. Did that
There's
ever?
nothing
In
wrong with that.
Legendary.
Are you talking
Yeah,
about
Legendary.
legendary?
Yeah.
No, because I just assume like it's not like I've got okay in my head canon. I don't have 5 Wolverines running around on the battlefield. It's that these are his attacks that he's doing. So if he's
Oh,
doing
okay.
like he's like, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that. And I
I
don't
should
know.
have at least used different pictures. Or that's the thing that always bugged
Yeah,
me. I'm
the
like, I
base
play a
set.
handful of cards and it's like 3 Wolverines and 2 Cables. I'm like, what's going on here? They
Well, if
look
you get
ridiculous.
any of the expansion stuff uses different pictures for the different
Wow.
different types of attacks at least. But
Yeah.
yeah, the base set, no matter what, it's always the same picture, which is kind of
I
a
know. I
bummer.
feel like they should re-release the base set with some new art. Update those.
Yeah, yeah, they should. They should.
I
I
really
agree with that.
I really thought for Marvel Champions, I think when they introduced that they're going to bring in the X-Men set, I think I don't know. I'm not sure if Riley mentioned this one or if I got this idea from Riley
I know
that
what you're gonna
that they should have had a base, a brand new base set, like a new jumping in
Yes.
point.
It should have,
Yeah.
because how many people love X-Men and are like meh about Avengers and everybody else?
Yeah.
That would have been so huge to pull in new people, but now they've got to go and buy the base set and then the X. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or they can just buy the X-Men
good
set
choice.
and the Hood scenario pack, and then they would have your standard and expert encounters.
Yeah, and just play on the insane difficulty right to start with.
Why not?
I guess. Yeah. Why not?
Well, I haven't played Champions yet, but I am actually getting my first LCG in the mail tomorrow. I'm getting the Arkham Horror card game. Arkham Horror LCG. It's coming in the mail tomorrow.
I'm just gonna
It's
do
with
happy dances here.
I got that whole game nerd sale. I got like 10 games coming tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited. It'll be a
Nice, very
nice
good.
big
That's a
box.
great game too. Maurice said that he should debate with me sometime, and I am all for that. Actually, I just started a new type of video. Riley is the first guest, where I do an interview, but then also at the end we debate a not very controversial board game topic. So I would happily have you on, Maurice, and we can debate Champions versus the better game anytime you want. I mean, it's fine. I'd be thrilled to do that. Have you on? That'd be great.
And then afterwards, you guys can come onto my show and rant how wrong the other person was throughout the entire time. Maurice is saying Arkham is phenomenal, and I'm going to reiterate that it is phenomenal. Just if you do end up going down the rabbit hole, that I have massive card boxes behind me holding all of the stuffs.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. It sounds fun. Looks good.
I like the new way they're releasing their stuff. Like it makes me afraid. Like I don't want to go back and get like the older ways they release stuff at all, because I'm afraid that then they'll re-release it in some way that's easier for me to just have everything at once. You know?
Nope, they have committed. They have committed that they are re-releasing all of those old.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, in those big box formats. They have committed to
Nice.
that.
Cool. Because yeah, I can
What's
keep up
the,
with
so
that
what
a
are they
little
doing?
better.
What are they changing with the format?
So that what it used to be is you used to buy like an expansion box that would give you like some new player cards and a couple scenarios, but then you'd have to go and buy 6 more scenario packs to finish out the whole story cycle type thing. And now they're scrapping that idea, and now you're just getting. They have 2 products. One is all of the campaign stuff in one box. So if you want to play the campaign, or if you just want more player cards, then you can just go and buy just all of the player cards from that set. And then the insane people like myself will always go buy both of them.
Have you played through all of the Arkham content that you've got?
I've played through all of the campaigns, but I haven't played all of the one-shot scenarios. Okay. They have like little scenario packs, but I haven't played all of those. But I have played all of the campaigns, and they are really, really quite fun and unique each.
Are they consistently good quality, or are you going to end up in situations where like you'll play a campaign and be like, oh, that's terrible?
There are some campaigns that are extremely more difficult and frustratingly difficult than other ones. One that comes to mind is the Forgotten Age is an extremely difficult campaign that there's a lot of times where I'm just like, yeah, I just passed this. I actually have at some point in time I have to just wave the white towel here and say, okay, I did get that thing. But the other, but they're all great quality in storytelling. All the characters are always really fun and unique, and all of the different ways that they can bring it out. Now that they've committed to the big box cycles, like all the future ones now. I'm not sure if anybody caught the Fantasy Flight Games in-flight report things that they did this year, but they got the new one coming out, and they're doing things now that they could have never ever done with the single pack releases. Now you can do non-linear story campaigns now instead of before, and so really excited what they're going to be doing.
Well, I don't know what any of that means at this point, so I'm excited to find out tomorrow when I play my first game of it, because that is the first game. I got I got 10 games coming, and I'm planning to bust out Arkham Horror LCG first.
Just Riley can probably give you some hints that the first time through it is going to be you most likely will fail the campaign the first way through with just those core box pre-constructed decks. Yeah, the way that they are pre-constructed.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
And here's the deal, right? I actually like I don't like winning solo games easily. So like if I sit down and play a solo game and I win it, I probably won't go back to it. So I'm fine if I lose it the first time or the first couple times, and that's cool. I want it to be challenging.
The fun thing about it is I think there's kind of varying degrees of success where, you could just lose it altogether, but you might get like a partial win. Nothing to hold your head up high about, but you type of thing. So I think that's really interesting. Kind of depending on how well you performed determines the next scenario and some bonuses or some scary things that'll happen.
Yeah.
David must have done really well that turn, because that was the longest turn I've ever seen taken in.
I forgot that I should be playing a game for a little bit.
I almost said, "Hey, passive aggressively, whose turn is it?"
I got wrapped up in the conversation. I was like, "Oh shit! Excuse me! Oh darn! Dang it! Now I did it! Oh
no! Oh no!
Hey, that's not as bad.
No, that's the second S bomb. I'm keeping track.
Yep. Oh Lord. It's past my bedtime.
We should have we need to have a scoring, like a score pad of how many curses each person does. And that subtracts from your points at the end.
David, your long-term Maurice forgives because it says you're too busy defending legendary.
I was, and that's important. It might be the most important thing that we face today as a society.
And I'm very sorry, Zoe. You don't have to clench your pearls so tightly. You can loosen the grip a little bit. We promise now. We'll behave.
Oh God, don't say that. It's not.
Oh, Riley, you just took my pet snake, Reggie.
You can't.
Oh, did I?
I can't
that's
promise.
the third time I used that line today. But that was my snake. I actually went and forgot to defeat him earlier. So
we'll see how I do with my Guardian Hunter style of play. I talked it up quite a bit.
Oh no. What did I do? Oh no. Oh no, it's not even my turn. Oh, phew.
Oh, whose turn is it right now?
Listen, I am going. I'm thinking right now. I'm not even looking at.
I thought it was my turn and I started clicking. I thought it was my turn. I started clicking. He's like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Why can't I do that? I can, of course, do that."
What's wrong?
All right.
Okay. Now it's my turn. Now I'm gonna reevaluate what I was actually doing. No, I'm just gonna do it this way. I think I can do this. Yep, got enough stuff to come up here. What we got going on in here?
Oh, it's a shame you only took second place on that there.
I know. I needed one more turn to get my one extra compass. Sorry, no, I needed one extra turn to get the red ruby.
It was my trusty Dutch army knife that got me there quicker.
What is this one? Is that the up? I need to switch over to the view here. It's an upgrade.
Riley, you got to play games with Chris and Rachel, I understand. Their
Yeah, it
place
was
is beautiful,
really
right?
fun.
Isn't it cool up there?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
They live with like their backyard is pretty much a river, and they had a ton of beautiful birds and wild bunnies just like playing together. It felt
Wow.
like Snow White. I
Yeah.
mean, it
It's
was
crazy.
gorgeous.
Oh,
They literally like they live. You walk down behind their backyard, and there's like a beautiful creek that drifts through there with a little island on the other side of it.
Wow, crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was great, and the company wasn't bad either.
Yeah. I mean,
They
I
were
don't
great.
know.
No, it was fun. We always get nervous meeting new couples and stuff. I figured, Chris and I have talked plenty, and I knew we'd get along, but it's always nervous having wives meet and if they'll get along. Kimmy loved Rachel.
Oh, that's good. Oh boy, what do I do now? I get to the top of the track. Is there anything else to do? Should I
Yeah.
just quit now?
like that's valid.
Yeah. Isn't there a resign button? No?
I need a totem. I don't think I can get a totem anymore though. This game's over for me. Bummer. Can't get any more guardians. I can't get a totem.
I feel like
Wow.
I didn't get one idol. Oh no, I got one idol of this game, and I had to spend it to go past that one spot on the research track.
What's in your hand that you can't get anything?
I've got a ton of stuff. It's just that so I can't move up on the research track with my notebook unless I have an idol to give, right?
Right.
And there's no way to get an idol because I'd have to have 6 compasses, and I can't get 6 compasses. So I totally messed up last round by not being able to take an action,
Oh.
I think. Because I only have one more worker left, so I can't really take any resource spaces. That's all right, guys. I'll figure it out. I'll make do. I
You
will
gotta have
survive.
faith.
As long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive. Oh boy, I don't know. Let's try this.
No, I see what you could do. That wasn't it.
Well, I mean, there's nothing I could do without a worker, I don't think. That would have gotten me more resources, and I only had one worker left. So once I use that worker, then I can't go up and get the totems on the top section.
You
That's okay.
could have gone and gotten yourself some more time. Oh wait, I'm not gonna tell you that. Screw that.
No, I'm
We're
just gonna
competitive here. Ah, my
find
bad.
tiles.
Time is on my side. Yes,
You guys ever
it
see that
is.
Denzel Washington movie that featured that song? I'm trying to think what the name of
Yeah.
that movie was.
I know, I can't remember
Oh,
either. It had
right.
Don Goodman too, right? It was
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's not like an amazing movie, but it's always got that creepiness to it. That every
Yeah.
time I hear that song, I think of that
Oh my
movie now.
gosh. What does the Google machine say? It was you're right. Denzel, right?
Yep.
yeah. I remember liking that movie, all right.
Yeah, it was solid. It just, none of us remember the name of it or what it was
No.
about, other than that the
Apparently
song was in it.
Yeah, couldn't have been that
Some
great,
like
yes, but
evil spirit moving between people and singing that song.
yeah.
How old?
I
was
have no idea what y'all are talking about.
Fallen.
Mormons don't watch that song, Riley.
Oh,
Don't watch
Fallen.
that movie.
Fallen.
Fallen, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the one with about the he's like the fallen angel or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it was. Oh no, it's my turn.
Oh, you know what I always forget to do? I should have probably seen if there was a relic I could have purchased to do something. I always forget to use the relics.
Okay, well that's what I was gonna tell you to do
What's
because
it?
oh, but somebody took it. There was a relic that let you take back an idol.
Oh,
Who would take that
yeah.
away?
I would have done it.
Jerk.
Yeah.
Oopsie. See, I do that all the time. I'm playing this game and I always forget to look up the relics thing until I'm like desperate. And this time I didn't even remember then. Well, let's see. What can I do with relics now? play this guy.
Oh my gosh, I got so many. I'm in the same boat. I got so many resources, and I can't really do anything with them.
By the tiles at the top.
Yeah, except for I can only get. I really actually only can get the one of the bottom ones, because I don't have any compasses, and I don't have a red ruby.
Sucker.
Yep. That's why I don't do well in this game. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Riley really wants that win number 2.
I know. I think I'm overthinking it. My wife gets mad when we play this game because the last round I take forever to think. So
Forever.
I
I think
am
after every
sorry.
turn I've taken, I'm always like, oh god, I should have done that. So I'm not expecting anything crazy, but you know, if I get some points, I'll be like, yeah, good job, me.
Noise, noise.
Self 5.
Yeah.
All right, I think I. No.
This is the part of the show, folks, where things get really serious.
Yeah.
We're trying to math things out.
All right, so we talked about Indiana Jones movies, but let's talk about Harrison Ford movies. Favorite Harrison
God.
Ford movie?
That's tough.
Star Wars?
First one?
Probably, yeah. Empire Strikes Back is not bad either.
It's not bad. It's all right.
It's a solid entry into the series.
I think Return of the Jedi is underrated as well. I actually think that Force Awakens is underrated, and that's another good Harrison Ford film, but I would have to call out Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I think I'm going to the Empire too.
Let's see, what other good Harrison Ford movies were there?
Zoe says, as I say in my groups, the last rounds of Euros is when you take the wheel from Jesus.
Take it from Jesus.
What was that? What was that Harrison Ford movie where he was in like Amish country and like
Oh
there's
yeah,
a murder? I can't remember what it's called, but I remember
yeah, that was
liking
solid.
one.
I do actually. I think The Fugitive is a good entry too. I think The Fugitive is probably one of my favorite movies.
I always forget about The Fugitive, but yes, that was always. And I always remember it. It was always on. Oh, which TV network here? But it like every weekend it was like always on. Like it just ran like every weekend. It just seemed. And I always just got sucked into it.
Hallelujah. Took my turn.
I feel good now.
Oh, no, I don't. Totally realizing what I should have done instead, of course. Ah, that's cool.
Okay, I don't know if I can get anything up there or there. Nope, that one's one extra. Here we go. If I had $1 extra, or if I had one extra something, I can get one of those, and that's about it.
All right, I'm gonna do a Hail Mary here. I grab this card and see if it gives me a reveal the top tile of the one key stack, activate it, then put it on the bottom. I need a scroll and a arrowhead. Let's do it. What do we get? Oh, we got an arrowhead and a compass. Not quite. So close. So close.
So close.
Noble try.
Back on Riley.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I knew that. I am definitely paying attention.
This is
Awesome.
like the lowest ending totem scores I've ever seen. I know this board contributes to that because you have to give up totems to move up past that middle section, but
Yeah, I
a rough one.
only ever collected the one idol, and
Nobody went to the top level. I'm feeling good about this game, but Riley's killed a lot of guardians
yeah, he's got
or
4 of them,
befriended a lot of guardians, so it's making me nervous.
and
Making me
he's
nervous.
Oh, you
decent.
think I'm close to done?
And he's decent up on the temple track too.
Well,
I've got the highest journal at least. That's only a 1 point difference, but
Just trying not to come in last.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
oh man, I'm seeing things left and right that I. All right, it's coming together. You know what? Everyone,
No.
just give up. We'll call it here. I
Stop
won.
that, Riley. Stop it. Stop thinking. It's like 11:30 at night. Stop thinking.
I don't even have to think anymore. That's what I'm saying. I won. All right.
Just
Riley, you got 5 cards in your hand still. What the heck are you doing over there?
Wait, are you supposed to be playing cards?
I mean, the strategy.
oh my gosh. Just buy another one of those, I guess, since I can. Like,
Ugh, I don't think I can get that last scroll I need anyway. Look at it. Bummer. Well, let's see, what can I get? I can get this tile.
man. Man. Indeed.
Just a lot of what's going on.
Indubitably.
Oh, I think I need.
Oh, maybe I could have done something. I only just saw it later. Bizarre. Bah. Ah. Bah. That's all I'm going to say. Ah. Bah. Da.
Whose
Are
turn
you
is it
making
right now?
Chewbacca sounds? And
Hey, it's somebody's turn.
It's somebody's turn. I don't know whose turn
I
it
feel like
is.
nothing's been happening for a while. Whose turn is it?
The overthinker.
He's been doing like some calculus on the side here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
writing it all down. Anybody actually ever used the notes feature in BGA?
I have it.
No.
I
Good
should.
idea. I just
Yeah,
haven't.
it is. I was playing Gaia Project with Adam and Jeff for a little while, and I kept forgetting what I was going to do in my turn by the time it came back around to me. And they told me they use it all the time, where they like make a note about what the next thing they're going to do is. So it's a good idea, but I'm too lazy for that.
I'm with you. I always think I'll remember. No, I won't.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't even remember when it gets back around to my turn.
I was playing like 3 async games of Barrage simultaneously the other
Oh,
day, and I went and I took an action, and then I realized I took it for the wrong color. I took an action that would have benefited a different color because I forgot in the other game I was playing a different color. So I probably should take notes.
Oof. Oof, baboof.
Oof, baboof, indeed. As this game is winding down into its final stages, anything on Board Game Arena that you wish, or sorry, any games that you wish would come to Board Game Arena? What would be your Board Game Arena wish list?
Dune Imperium #1. It's perfect. It's prime for a Dune Imperium implementation, an async game, and love to play more of it.
Really like Starship Samurai. I don't think anyone knows anything about or talks about that at all, but it's such a good game, and I think it'd be really easy to implement on that too. I mean, there's other games I'd like to see, like I'd like to see Arkham Horror Third Edition, but I don't know how long it would take to go through an async game of Arkham Horror Third.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
that would be what I did for the rest of my life. So something more reasonable. I think that would be a really cool game, and I think it'd help people kind of discover it where I think maybe a lot of people haven't.
Yeah, I've heard about that game, but I have never played it, so I'd be interested in trying it. Zoe said I'd like to see turncoats on BGA, so she was talking about that one earlier.
Yeah, she was. I'm interested in Starship Samurais. David,
It's great.
I've been trying to find a copy up here. I just never seem to find one, or else they come up locally. One came up locally, and I tried contacting the guy over and over and over again. He never responded to my thing. I'm like, I want to buy. I've sent you 10 messages in the last 5 days. I really want to buy your copy. And all of a sudden the ad got taken down. I was like, what happened? Like, what happened?
Oh man.
Oh, Riley went up to the top. That's not good. Darn it, Riley.
It just has it has such a cool
What,
action system
little
thing
old
where you
me?
have you have tokens numbered 1 through 4, and then you can allocate those to the different actions, and depending on what number you put on there, that's like the strength of that action, which is kind of cool. It's an interesting choice to make every turn, and God, I love it. I love it. I'm
It looks
like
so
most
good.
games, I'm awful at it, but I still love it.
Yeah. It's definitely got a theme that I would jump all over. A game I want on Board Game Arena, because I just can't get enough of it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Five Tribes. If anybody's played Five Tribes.
I have a copy.
I haven't, but I'd love to try it.
I would
It's
think
fun.
that it would have a really good, if it had a digital implementation on it,
Yeah.
I think it would fit really well.
That's a great pick, because that's a game that takes a little bit of thinking time on your turn anyway. So there tends to be a little bit too much downtime for a lot of people while you're playing the game. So that's a great async play right there. That's a good one. I like that.
I wouldn't mind more Ryan Lockett games.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd love to play like Rome. I want to try, and again, Near and Far on there would be cool. I've still never played
Yeah.
Above and Below either, so I wouldn't mind playing that on there. That'd be fun.
Thanks, Maurice. He
They're
says
both-
Five
they're all
Tribes
great.
is amazing.
Yeah.
And I completely agree, Maurice. The two-player game, I think, is fantastic. The two-player version, the two-player rule of Five Tribes is absolutely stellar.
I know a lot of people say that. I actually prefer it with 3 or 4 players more than 2, but I get why, like the ability to plan out and pick 2 turns in a row if you bid right and stuff like that is interesting.
Yeah.
I like playing it 3 or 4. I like the variety. There is an expansion for it called Artisans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Artisans of Nikala or whatever. That was a good one.
Yeah, my wife and I, we
Good
actually
expansion.
don't play without the artisans anymore. I think they added a nice, just that nice little extra something onto the game.
Yeah, the mountains, which kind of change up the movement ability, and then just the additional color meeple was good. Variety in there. Oh, somebody took that. Oh my God, you guys are gonna Mista Rau, you took the last point that I could have gained in the game. And I'm
Oh,
passing. I'm out. Riley's got like 100,000 resources over there.
Yeah.
Riley, I was feeling good. I don't feel good anymore.
oh my gosh, Riley's got turns for days.
Yeah, and he just
Yep.
got a 5th guardian he's gonna defeat.
God dang, man.
Well, we'll see. Hey, it's not over yet.
Oh God.
Riley's always so unassuming, and then he just crushes you with games. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, Riley.
At least this time he came in being like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty good at this game. I played a lot." Where the previous games all like, "Oh, I don't know, I never win." And then, yeah.
No, I think what he said was, "Yeah, I've played a few times, but I've never lost before." I think
yeah.
that's what he actually said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only lost against you.
Well, let's continue that streak tonight, please.
Oh gosh, yeah, he's gonna take because my next turn I'm pretty much passing because I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, I'm out of stuff too.
Oh, good. Riley opted not to defeat that guardian. I like that.
Oh no, he's gonna do it eventually.
Well, not yet.
Oh,
There's other things to do.
Oh yeah.
I have to do that one.
Yep, I see.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so we're really just like at the pass, and then just we'll chat and Riley just finishes out his
Yep,
turns.
that's about
Give
it.
me another 20, 30 minutes. It'll be fine.
The first 3-hour game of Lost Ruins of Arnak in the history of Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Okay, all right. Oh, you really did pass. Okay.
Well, yeah, I only have
God,
four.
now I feel pressure.
I have 4 tablets, and there's nothing I can do with those 4 tablets.
It seems like poor planning, Ryan.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
I left myself a coin to buy that one last thing out of the relic row, but for some reason it wasn't there when it came back around to me.
Oh, look at this. He's got idols to Riley's got idols to use for some
Yeah, he
bonus
does.
stuff
I know.
and
Yeah, when I saw he got up to that top row, I knew it was over. I think Riley's got this one in the bag.
so this game
Yeah,
has
I'll
went
just
on for a
take it.
while. Tim, David, if you feel like you needed a bathroom break or anything like that right now before we do the final discussion.
I'm wearing an adult diaper, so I'm cool.
I don't know if you guys saw that my video went off for a little bit a while ago because
Yeah, we
we're
talked
taking
about
a
you.
bathroom
Fine.
break.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot.
yeah, you can check the stream link at the end and see what we said. And I still got it marked down where I need to edit. I need to add in a beep.
You got 2 beeps, right? 2 beeps. To
Yeah,
come.
we've added work to you.
Or I'm just gonna click the button that says, "Hey, 18 plus stream." There was a couple swear words,
Couple cusses.
couple cusses.
I mean, if you're just going to do that, we can unleash now, right? Like we could just go on a tear.
Love it. Get some like Jay and Silent Bob rapping or something like that going here. And I can't
You
believe
guys,
that.
you're looking forward to Clerks 3 coming out, or
Oh,
right?
yeah, I
Because
saw that.
it's Clerks 3, right? Because there was already a Clerks 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is Clerks 2.
I heard about that, and I didn't look too much more into it other than I heard about it. I was like, oh, that's interesting, I guess.
I don't think I saw the second one, actually. Maybe I don't know.
I think there was a Clerks 2, wasn't there? I feel like there was
Yes.
the second one. Yeah.
Yes.
Worry Sast is Aeon's End and BGA. I don't think so. I haven't seen it out there.
I haven't seen it either. Aeon's
Oh,
End
no,
would
that'd
be a
be
neat
great.
one. That would be a neat
There's
one
an
too.
app for that. I did play an
Yeah.
app version of that one.
That would be cool to have. I wouldn't mind having that on there. It'd be awesome.
Riley, are you done taking turns yet?
What? No.
He's still got to
I
take.
got a while.
He's got to take 20 minutes for every turn, even though he's the last one doing it. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's moving up to the top of the track too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Riley, you got this one locked in.
Holy
Good game.
Holy crud. Look at this. I'm gonna have to rewatch this stream just to see what did he do.
I don't even
Cheated,
know.
obviously. He cheated.
I don't have the strategy for this game at all. Wow, I do not. And that's
David,
okay.
David, remember when I told you got to move up that track? Remember when I mentioned that at the beginning of the game?
Oh, that track? Oh,
Yeah, but then
I
also there
know.
was the option that you could instead go and defeat Guardians. But you didn't do that
No,
either.
no,
So
I
what,
did
what
that
did you do
once.
this game?
I got one. I got one. I was gonna get that beetle, and then Riley went and took it, which is pretty selfish because he was gonna defeat like 8 more. You could have let me have that one, Riley.
Oh my
God
gosh.
damn it, man.
I made 2 critical mistakes that I know about tonight. I'm sure I made others, but there was 2 where I was planning to do something and forgot about it by the time I got back to my turn, and I messed myself up pretty bad.
Oh yeah, no. In the last
Yeah, no.
round, I had totally forgotten that I had that one extra worker. It just kind of set in my head, that one extra worker that just sat there the entire time, and I was like, oh wait, I could have actually used you to do something useful way back in the beginning. Can I scroll back here and see how many things that has Riley done since the last time somebody took a turn? I think I have that ability here.
Like 15 pages of log.
Yeah, I passed. It says I passed at 11:37, and now it says 11:41, and Riley's still going.
So Riley,
Going
how is it playing
strong.
this? How is it playing this solo, Riley? What's the solo game
This is
like?
great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Holy crud! Okay, I'm actually gonna count this here. I'm gonna
He
go
finally played his last card out of his hand. That's good.
Six, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 40. It says 44 things Riled Nerd has registered since the last time I passed. Crazy.
Oh, Leanne just showed up.
Well, Leanne,
It's all right.
welcome.
It's been a good game. Not strategically from my end, but it has been a fun game.
You just walked into Riley dominating the last, 7 minutes of
Yeah.
gameplay because we all passed and he just keeps taking turns.
It's okay, Leah. It's fine.
Yeah, it's cool that you showed up.
Absolutely. Uh-oh,
Riley.
What are you
What are you
click
doing
on?
now? Jeez. Riley's like pulling out, like, he's got like master cheat code going on here.
So from this one, am I gaining it to my hand or? Oh no, and I'm not going to be able to draw it because I don't. No. Okay, so this will be my last thing.
Take the biggest point
Just
card.
go for the point. Yeah.
'Cause it's
And
all
now
about-
I'm done, guys.
Are you
Holy
sure?
cow. Holy
Are you
cow.
sure?
Like, we got to see this. I bet Riley has the high 80s score.
Like-
the rest of us are in the well,
High
me
Riley's
and
only
80s.
played half of his.
Don't
game.
Ryan are
insult
going to be in
me.
the 50s to 60s, and David's going to be in the 30s.
I'll be in the single digit. Wow, look how bad I suck. That's amazing. I mean, not really.
You don't think I got into like the 90s, 100?
I've rarely ever seen anything over 80s, so if you did, congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh, he just took the lead.
Jesus, Riley.
Those monsters.
Look at this.
It's
Look at
obscene.
this. My goodness.
Okay, well, dang.
Okay, did I call that though? I was pretty close.
You were pretty close.
Yeah.
Wow. Great game.
Great game, guys.
Great game, everybody.
Fun.
Yep.
Look at that.
Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Lost Ruins
Sucks
of
a
Arnak.
little bit more than it used to, but I still enjoy it. Just kidding. Riley, I want a rematch. BGA.
Bring it on.
Tomorrow, I'm inviting you.
Riley,
Right
I want
back,
a
yeah.
tutoring session.
We can keep the stream going for another 3 hours, and we'll all play again.
God.
Wow.
It's those last rounds are always my favorite because of the
amount of
thinkiness, that puzzle.
Yeah, you can do a lot
What
with
can I
them, and
prep?
if you have kind of prepped yourself right, there's big moves because you got a handful of cool cards. You're triggering these relics. You're pulling other relics down and doing stuff. So they can be really huge. Well, I'm just destined to be second, I guess. That's my second in a row.
No rematch,
Oh,
Riley.
first
Just
time winner.
enjoy your victory. Leanne says. This is Riley's
First time,
second.
two-time winner.
This is Riley's second victory since we started playing together. His first one, he's the first one to capture the victory live on YouTube land. Are you all streaming the rematch?
The pressure didn't get to me. Yeah, it'll be async though, so we'll just be streaming 24/7. It'll probably take a good week to play this.
Yeah, you can see all of us at work and sleeping. It'll be fun.
Awesome, possum. Thank you, gentlemen, once again for a great evening of chit chat and a game happening in the background. It was an absolute blast.
Yeah, it really was. Thanks
It
so much
was.
for doing this and hosting this on your channel and organizing it.
Yeah, we'll try to get the gang back together in about a month's time, 4 to 5 weeks ish, whatever it is. School's starting up, so my schedule is going to get even more hectic than it is right now, but it should be all good. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us in the chat tonight. It was a good one. We had quite a few people coming in. And yeah, I have links in the description of this video. If I don't have them there right now, I will put them in post-production of where you can find Tim in the Board Game Hot Takes podcast, David and his channel All Games New and Old, and to the Board Game Community Show podcast featuring Riley Stock. I'll have links to all of their content and where you can find them all across the interwebs. Gentlemen, do you have any last words you would like to get out on your chest that is not a swear word?
X never ever marks the spot.
I was going to say snakes. Why did it have snakes?
I was just gonna cry. That's all.
But David,
we really like having you play with us.
But David, did you?
Yeah, what?
Did we brighten your day a little bit tonight?
Yes, you did. Yes, I was having a rough day, and this was fun. I came in knowing that I have not played this game well yet, so I didn't necessarily expect anything to happen tonight. But I was just glad to chat with you guys and marvel at Riley just racing around and doing everything in one turn that it usually takes me the entire game of this to do. So
perfect.
My thinking time was 8 minutes longer than, so I'm sorry.
You have to be that guy. You're that guy.
I do.
Awesome.
I love the puzzle.
Awesome, folks. Well, you can come back and join me next Wednesday. That would be something August. I can't even remember now. 24th. I can't even think now. Can't think straight. I'm going to be live streaming a solo play of the Dark Souls card game. Little something that Steamforge Games passed my way. I've been playing it a little bit, and I'm going to do a solo run playthrough of it. And then after, I have no idea what that's after that. Maybe it's going to be some Marvel Champions. Maybe it's going to be Tim's favorite game of all time, Marvel United. I never know. But something's going to be happening. Just so keep up with my social medias. Twitter is my most active, and where I've been posting a lot of these things. And obviously, go and subscribe and follow to all of these people's lovely contents. They've been producing lots of quality shows. Board Game Hot Takes, doing their hot take reviews. David and his awesome characters that pop into his review videos are always so entertaining. And Riley, you always have some interesting conversations and guests. I actually really liked the Riley Rambles episode. That was pretty cool.
it was fun.
I did it like a couple hours before the episode was supposed to come out because I hadn't had time to do anything else. So thank you. That means a lot because I feel so stupid doing them.
Hey.
And go check out everybody's merch stores. All three of these fellas have merch stores now.
That is true. I should put a link into I'll put that into the description here of where everybody can get merchandise. We've got Teespring.
Putting together mine.
We got Teespring, and then we got Redbubble. I never heard of Redbubble before, but it looks actually pretty cool.
I never heard of Teespring before, so we're even.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
And then I'll
folks.
probably be on Printify.
Leanne's ending off here. She says, happy to David. I like on BGA, but I called the hard copy because I couldn't get into the swing of it.
Got rid of Lost Ruins. Oh,
We both claim to lose all the
man.
time, so something's gonna happen if her and I play. It's gonna be I don't know. That might cause
Probably
some
some
kind
sort
of
of
weird,
vortex.
yeah, like some kind of anomaly in like the fabric of space and time is going to open up when we play. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and why don't you invite me to games on BGA anymore, by the way? Let's get some more games going.
because you win too much, probably.
listen, you need to play blindfolded.
Let's randomly click things.
Yeah. No, I'd be happy to. I haven't been starting up nearly as many games as I did when I first got on there, but I'd be happy to play at any time. I just kind of forget to start things. So if there's a game you want to play, feel free to like set that up and I will happily join up.
Right
And
on.
that goes
So
for me too. Ever since I bought Premium, I don't think I've invited anyone to the game, which was back in April.
all money well spent, Riley.
I know.
Hey, we gotta bring all those big titles that Asmodee wants to bring onto Board Game Arena. So go and get yourself a
Yeah,
subscription.
you're welcome, everyone else, right? My money paid for some of the other.
Yes, that's how I like to
I
think
still
about
think
it. That's how I like to think
Yeah.
about it too.
Zoe
All right,
said good
folks.
night. I enjoyed watching. So good night, Zoe. It's good having you
Good night,
around.
Zoe.
Thanks for coming around.
Good night,
Thank-
everybody.
Absolutely, it's a late one here, folks. It's almost midnight, and I think it's almost midnight for you, or 11 o'clock. I can't remember the time zone thing. So, time zones, they're the worst.
We're all in Pacific time, except when I'm not. Which is the other half of you.
All right, enough ramblings. Everybody, say goodnight, folks.
Good night, everybody.
folks.
And I will see you all, hopefully, next Wednesday. Ciao.
Dun, 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 dun.